both accomplished. Should be a very good match. I'm hoping so, after all the 3-0s yesterday. But in the bottom right, the North American Maru. His name is literally Maru. Not his in-game name. The Canadian Terran. Masa. Known for micro and multitasking. And also proxy rexing. Now don't forget that part, but that's a classic. And in the top left, the Queen of Blades. For... Okay, I figured this out yesterday. I want to make sure I say it right. Representing team Tolan's Lions. The IEM Pyeongchang Olympic champion. And at some points, the best foreign player in StarCraft. I think Serral's kind of taken that for now, but she's given him a great fight. It's Scarlet. Now, Zerg versus Terran is the iconic... When you think of StarCraft, you probably think of ZVT. Or at least everybody who doesn't know anything about StarCraft thinks about the humans fighting the aliens, right? I think that's a recurring theme when it comes to science fiction, video games in general. Am I right, Master Chief? But no shenanigans to start out here. A hatch gas pool out of Scarlet, which is the textbook macro opener. The same thing on the other side. For Masa. Not the hatch gas pool, the Reaper expand, which is the quickest way to get a base up while still having the ability to scout and defend. Very, very early pressures like a handful of Zerglings coming out, stuff like that. Acid Plant is a bit more of a defensive map. You have a longer rush distance. There is pretty easy access to 4 bases, which not every map has. But it's not like you can just sit back at the top of your ramp and build siege tanks. That is definitely not the case. It's not a 16-bit, alright? For those of you that remember. Also with a little bit of Reaper Micro. Ooh. Trying to get that creep tumor. If you can start it, because, well, like many tumors, if you can catch it as it's starting, it's much better than after they expand. Now, what do we have here? A reactor and a tech lab being built. Masa actually opting for 2 Marines early, and a 3rd command center. So, despite what I may have just said, he might actually just sit on top of his ramp and build siege tanks. I was wrong. This was the other option. Going straight into the Hellions. For map control, he's already scouted. Let's look at Masa vision. Already scouted the quick 3rd out of Scarlet, which is definitely characteristic. So feeling pretty safe about the 3rd command center. Also placing the 3rd command center in a place that the Overlord is less likely to scout. Now this OV can stay alive for the moment. There isn't a starport, and the lack of Viking or starport units might give the lack of information can sometimes be information in and of itself. And what that means is if Scarlet doesn't actually get a great scout, but no starport units are coming in, that begs the question, where are you spending your gas? Or if you're spending your gas. Masa is doing a really heavy powering build here. He's getting a 3rd command center, double engineering bay, all before a starport. This is because the investment in the starport costs gas. He really wanted to focus on the minerals early. He's the only type of pressure he's going to be able to put on. Well, actually, there's no pressure. He can't put on any pressure. It's faux pressure here, fake pressure. As you see, just a Reaper and 2 Hellions. That's it. That's mostly to make it look like he's going Hellions. He's not. He's already building a barracks. He's just using the factory to install add-ons. It's like a fresh edition of Chrome. Just a couple Hellions to make it look good and also ward away small amounts of Zerglings, but we're already building up the Rex. A starport on the way, a reactor behind, +1 infantry weapons, and then +1 infantry armor. So a full-on macro play out of Masa. He's going to have the upgrade advantage. Scarlet has opted for a lair and slower evolution chambers. She added on a single Spore Crawler just in the main base because the main base is harder to come back with your queens to defend. But speaking of queens, she's got 8 of them, which is very... I mean, queens are just all around amazing. They got good defense. Well, if you use them in the right scenario, good offense. They don't die easily to any Terran harass. They can shoot down things like medevacs and liberators. They can transfuse one another. So the more queens that you have, the better they are. To an extent, all right? Like, don't go crazy, but having just 5 on the map is already intense. And Scarlet known internationally, for her creep spread. Thank you, Mr. Mustachio.
Now I have your attention.
I should probably turn that down, though. We have 2 drops being loaded up a little bit later. Usually, if you're on 2 bases, the first pressure coming in with 2 medevacs, a 2-base power build, is a little bit around 5 minutes. Maybe a little bit later than 5 minutes, depending on exactly how well it's executed. But here we see it a little bit later, but still able, if there's no anti-air. Oh, the 4th base gets taken out without a cancel. The double drop going into the main. And is that a lurker den in Zerg versus Terran against Bio? That's not an accident. You don't make a lurker den by accident. Okay, so this is really interesting. So Scarlet has also kind of taken some liberties. 72 drones. The 4th base being canceled actually slows a lot of things down. But a lurker den against a Terran who wasn't able to control a creep very well. And even now, Masa not really going for the creep spread. He's instead, well, now starting to clear it up, but once the creep gets out this far, it becomes more and more difficult to clear it over time. So when you have a lot of creep spread, that's when lurkers maybe can make a difference. The drop in the main, though, Masa, so multitasking the attack at the front, rocking a hard place for Scarlet to try to engage that, so the Lings are coming back to the main base. 11, 13, 14, 15, I'm great at counting. Drones go down. 16 drones is the total, and a Liberator CG up on the right. Still some pressure on the left. I don't think he has any medevacs with which to ferry these over the rocks, but the Liberator gonna pull the drones away. 19 kills. Scarlet still maintaining 69. The Lurker Den is finishing up. Some Hydras on the way, but the pressure is mounting from Masa. He's got 2-2 coming up. Another double drop coming to the other side of the rocks. The 4th base gonna be under fire once again. Hydras, Lings, and Banes are on their way defensively. The tank sieging from over the rocks, making it incredibly difficult to engage. Masa doing... Is that a Nidus? Scarlet gonna try to do a lurker backstab in ZVT against Bio. I don't know if I've ever seen this, at least not at a game of this level. These top tier WCS level pros. Anyways, Masa just laying on the pressure. Scarlet maintaining supply and economy, but she cannot be losing the 4th, and she can't lose too many drones. The Liberator coming up, that's the one from earlier. Takes a Hydra with it. There is vision. Masa, thankfully, going to be building these barracks in vision of where the Nidus Worm is likely going to go. The Nidus is on the way. You can't attack it while it's burrowing in, but once it completes, it is vulnerable. But what is in the Nidus? There are lurkers and Hydras. The backstab coming through. Stutter stepping forward, 4th base being targeted down. Great splits out of Masa, but is he responding to the main? The lurkers burrow, contaminate on the racks, why not? But siege tank's quite good against the lurkers. The boys eating some of the shots. The attack at the 4th being cleaned up. 6 SCVs go down. That's not very many in the grand scheme of things. Lings trickling out of the Nidus network as the 4th base is literally under fire. More drones going down. The lurkers are pulled in or pulled back. Scarlet not burrowing them in time. The scan gonna take it out, but there's no more units. Oh, the Nidus wasn't killed! It just keeps going through. A queen comes out. The production is now under fire. Masa was focusing too much attention at the front. He thought he had cleaned this up, but you gotta get rid of the worm. You don't want to have worms for too long. Everybody knows that's a bad thing and also disgusting in the back of the base. Hydra's still going to work. Finally, more boys are pulled. 14 SCVs gone down thus far. 3-3 has not started for Masa. Trying to actually draw changeling friendly fire or just get a changeling in the mix there. but the series already off to an explosive start. 132 versus 128 supply. 2 tanks are not something you want to leave behind, but army supply is still in favor of Masa. When you go for the lurker den, you delay the infestation pit, and also, of course, for the Nidus network, which costs a lot of gas. Now, Masa has a lot of medevacs. I think it's time to start building Liberators. I think he agrees. A lot more lurkers on the way, but tanks were taken out. There's only 2 on the field. Without the tanks, the lurkers actually gain a lot of effectiveness, but more being targeted down. The Marines stimming, and they are indeed winning. The lurker's not done morphing. 1 medevac with Marines taken out, but there are more where that came from, dropping into the main. Scarlet taking a bit of the supply lead, but the upgrade's starting to go in favor of Masa. He's only got the +3 armor on the way, maybe a little bit of a mistake there. Usually weapons are preferred. Is that the Reaper from the beginning of the game? The drops picking up and getting out, utilizing what mobility he has with all those medevacs. But he's just running around. This is the weakness of the lurkers. Just the inability to close the distance on these armies here. The lack of anti-air. Ooh, but that medevac, the tanks are coming up. The double siege. The lurker's gonna try to dive on top. The bio at the back, but the lurkers dunk down into the ground. A drop in the main. It looks like only 1 medevac made it there. The rest are coming back without any payloads. 84 to 64 workers. Scarlet somehow, well, that number being reduced by a singular drop. Another spawning pool being built. It looks like the first one was taken out. That's not where you want to go. The drop on the left side. Masa's drop in the main being shot down, which means some of the units can be pulled away. A drop will be coming to the left. If you can't fight the main army, you go outwards. You try to find an angle where there isn't defense. And at this point, especially with such a focus on lurkers, there's definitely weak points. Masa just has to find them. More creep being cleared up. The creep overwhelming and oppressive on the right side, but the left side definitely more vulnerable. More drones being taken down. The lurkers will move up. A hive is indeed done, right? A hive is done, but no lurker burrow speed, no digging claws. I mean adaptive talons, that's what we're calling it. There it is. All the hive tech upgrades coming through, and that's going to make Scarlet more effective. Still up against well-upgraded Bio-Tank Liberator. There's no super late game options. Actually, oh my god, that's a very, very... Oh, lurker's getting a nice swipe through. Adrenal glands, though, for the Zergling attack speed. Adaptive talons for the lurker burrow move and burrow speed. A Nidus on the right side. Late game Nidus being utilized. Oh, the Liberator with free reign over the drones. And the attack at the front, and you're not getting through that many lurkers. 9 lurkers on the field. Masa really needs more tanks. The Nidus is out of vision range for Masa. He does not know where... It could be anywhere on the map as long as it's not in the main. He does... Well, actually, I don't even know if he has vision of the full main. Attack on the left side, though, totally exposed. Not even a medevac with this. Liberator chased away, taken out. The lurkers working their way through the light depot wall here. Usually made for Zerglings. Doesn't handle lurker spawns very well. Another drop coming through. More drones going down. Scarlet being pulled apart, but still doing damage on the opposite side. The Liberator's going to siege up a tank and 2 libs. Going to be a good combination for defending against the Nidus Swarm. Try to target down more. More drones going down. Most of the medevacs get away. Picks up and gets knocked down. 166 to 160 supply. Both players still over 70 workers. High-powered economies. They can both rebuild and have that later game tech. A lot of the time, without ghosts, without ranged liberators, though, this will favor the Zerg player. Actually, Masa has 5 bases. It's ridiculous. Somehow, despite beating on each other's economies so much, they are still at insanely high economies. The lurker's moving around. At some point, Masa can get a... Well, ranged liberators are really... Ranged liberators and ghosts. Especially since he's already making liberators, if he could just get that range upgrade completed, it would make it much more difficult for the lurkers to close the distance. And also, harassing mineral lines against a player that doesn't have a spire. Well, we see now a spire on the way. A second starport for Masa, but still a long way off. This base is dangerously low. Masa trying to fight into lurkers and banelings. I don't know. Make some headway here, but you do not want to eat those spines. You got to get your siege moved up. A Nidus Worm on the right once again. Scan and attack on the left. There are 2 lurkers here. A lot of this bio is in autumn colors. Very seasonal. A Nidus comes out. A Liberator doing more damage. Scarlet at 80 drones. Masa at 78 SCVs. Once again, Lurker's trying to come in. Will they get close enough to the tank? It doesn't, well, it doesn't seem so. 2 Liberators will shut that down. But more units. That's a little awkward coming in and out of the Nidus. Vipers, though. Vipers can line up a decisive move. Some blinding clouds, some abducts. There's still a lot of bio for Masa. If those lurkers don't get into position, or there's not a blinding cloud ready, there's the fusion core, finally, for advanced ballistics for those liberators. The main base starting to mine out of gas. It's only been 16 minutes, but so many units have been lost. Now this is Scarlet's first real concerted attack here. She's just been eating attacks from Masa. The blinding clouds, but he stims right through it. It gets ripped to shreds. The lurker's doing a great job. And more abducts coming in, but Masa with the counterattack on the opposite side, always trying to exploit the vulnerability, the immobility of lurkers. This is a big attack coming in, but double tank, double lib. Will he maintain air superiority? It doesn't look like it. Dunks the lurkers down. Drop on the left side, gonna make it into the main. Drop on the right side, trying to do damage. The lurker's doing a great job. Suddenly the supply tips heavily in Scarlet's favor. Masa still has mining, forced to retreat from this base, but Scarlet making some headway with the lurkers. There's not enough here to kill off the reinforcing Hydras, and suddenly Scarlet can focus all her forces to attack, especially a Greater Spire on the way. +3 ranged attack. Bio trickling in and getting shredded. And the lurkers making their way a little bit further forward. Scarlet working through on both fronts. Blinding Cloud's making a big difference here. Can Blinding Cloud the planetary as well. Lurkers on the right side trying to split through. There is no more anti-air. The Liberators will be able to do a pretty good job in that scenario, but the planetary fortress under fire, and Scarlet takes game number 1. Well, that's a dramatic start to the day, isn't it? The army value finally came together. Lurkers against Terran. Now I'm gonna get that question like 500 times. I really feel like Masa, he needed his more and better siege units quicker. That's the weakness. That's the weakness in a direct fight of lurkers. But Masa is a very multitasking-oriented player, and sometimes you can get locked into the mode. Masa says in the chat, "Damn, lurkers are strong," indicating he probably hasn't seen them in quite a while. Alright, lost and found will be game number 2. This is Starladder, alright? We have next to no downtime. The games are going to keep coming, the series are going to keep coming. You gotta stay tuned. Don't go anywhere. Tell your grandparents, tell your parakeet. There's important StarCraft happening today. Alright, Masa in the top right, Scarlet bottom left. The Canadian Civil War. I wonder if we'll see any proxy rags out of Masa. Does he break it out? The classic tactic. He's definitely used it before. I don't think... I think anyone in 2018 who's like, no, I'm above the proxy rags, I play a macro game, is really just hamstringing themselves. It's a good strategy to mix in. The threat being there, that you're gonna... Like, if you're known as a player... This is part of the reason I feel... Innovation didn't have as much success this year. It's kind of gotten to the point where you have to be dynamic, you have to be flexible, and he is a little bit more predictable than, say, someone like Maru. So, but with that in mind, we'll see. looks like we're going to be having an identical opener here. Well, just about the same. Reaper Expand versus Hatch first. And the question is, how is this followed up? Like, I feel Masa was fine in the last match. He was going toe-to-toe. It seemed he was a little taken aback by the lurker style. And, I mean, for good reason. As it's incredibly uncommon nowadays. I don't know if Masa has seen that in the past months. I don't know if that's something Scarlet is really, like, working on, or she just decided to mix it in. But we'll see. I'm excited. Like, if there's more, we might have to reevaluate the meta. I just hate saying the word meta, but Masa with the same 3cc build. Scarlet not able to get a glimpse of it. I don't know how much she realized that was the case in the last match. Completely pulled out of gas. Scarlet maximizing those minerals. Just going to rely on queens for basic defense. It is going to be an identical... Whoa! Okay. No. It's not. Masa even going harder into macro than last game. Now we're just skipping the Hellions. Not even bothering with Hellions. It's like, well, Hellions are a little bit less time building barracks. This is almost... This is like being a Terran Scarlet. Oh yeah, I should probably update the score, right? Where you're just being so disgustingly greedy. If you get away with it, it could be amazing. But sometimes maybe a little too greedy. Like if Scarlet was just doing a Bane Bust. Or even if she just made like 20 lings, Masa would take critical damage. Like, he has nothing to stop that, and very little opportunity to scout now that speed is done. But a gentleman's agreement. Okay. We're just not gonna build a bunch of units early. Now, this is also, these are probably the top, very close to top two. Well, Scarlet definitely the best Canadian player. And then you could have an argument over who's second place there, but Masa is on the short list. So they've played not just in tournaments, just dozens, if not hundreds of times. So not only is there a TVZ meta, there's Terran versus Zerg meta. Not only is there like a WCS circuit meta, but there's a Scarlet versus Masa meta as well. Over hundreds of games, you get to know someone, like how they're going to react, what they want to do, what are their tendencies, what are they good at, what aren't they good at. And they all come together, and there's a lot of money. The winners, so here's how the Ultimate Series works. For each region of 3 regions, North America, EU, and then CIS/Russian language region, there were 4 invites. 4 top players, accomplished players were invited. Like, for NA, it was Neeb, Scarlet, True, and Masa. 2 of them in this game because of their accomplishments in WCS. And then there were 4 players who made it through the Amateur Series Grandmaster Division, which is essentially a series of qualifiers that started at Bronze and worked their way by league up to Grandmaster. Very competitive players challenging them. But the top 2 or the top 4, I really need to, I should probably see that. I believe the top 4. Yes, the top 4 will be moving on. The seeding will matter. In the main event, the playoffs, where all the regions will come together and compete. And that will be happening. You'll be able to catch all the North America and the playoffs on this stream. Alright. It looks like Masa did a very similar 2 medevac follow-up to the power pressure. Scarlet has taken some serious liberties here. 71 drones, macro hatch done. The one thing... Oh, but a spire. By the way, I got so caught up in explaining things that could have just been Googled. Masa picking up. Trying to put on as much pressure. Deny if every creep tumor matters with Scarlet. She's just going to put it on your... Last game, the entire half the map, like the right side of the map, was entirely filled up with creep. Masa could barely even touch it. But 4, 5, 6 drones going down, leaving Scarlet with a devastatingly low 84 drones. Mutas are on the way. If you're able to use mutas aggressively, that's their specialty. The best defense against mutas is a good offense. I'm sorry, the game sounds... I didn't realize my mic... This might have been annoying. I didn't notice any comments, but... the game sounds and mic settings were off. I apologize. But this is what happened some... What? Oh, Scarlet was making mutas. We'll just go back real quick. I feel like I didn't even talk about the game. I apologize for that, but I did not expect... The double tank drop. More banelings on the way. Masa has a lot of units there. Powered up to a great attack. Okay. So, I guess we're just shooting into game number 3. So there is such a thing as too many drones, is what we've learned here. The summary is Scarlet was not confident at all that she had a chance of breaking that anywhere close to cost efficiently. And is just going to tap it out. Kind of found the limit there. Making 115 drones that game. All right. Here we go, game 3. Best of 5. So now it's essentially a best of 3. We're gonna focus on the game. Alright, we got all that talking out of the way, and now I'll do some commentary. In the bottom left, the Canadian Terran player. Masa. With a solid and sharp timing in the last match to take a quick victory. In the top right, the Queen of Blades, the Queen of Drones. And, well, figuring out the hard way. In the game of drones, you either win or you die to a nice timing attack. It's Scarlet for Toland's Lions. Now, do we see the same thing again? I'm really going to try to pick apart these builds. Masa seems confident, like, do they cheese? Because this is, the tournament is a series of rounds. Like, every player, essentially, or close to it, will be playing one another. In a round-robin type of style. It's a Swiss round style, which, while I understand what it is, I do not feel confident explaining. So... Do you actually show that you're going to cheese? Do you like throw out the double proxy racks or do like a Baneling bust all in or a quick Nidus all in or something like that? Or do you just play stand? Do we get 5 Hatch first, Reaper expand macro games? I wouldn't be surprised with these two players. But we both, well, we all know they're both capable of breaking out the cheese as well. Let's not just pigeonhole him. Alright, the Reaper holding back. It's holding back because there is a risk, especially if you don't SCV scout, of pool first. Pool first means you get between 2 and 6 lings out usually. And if the Reaper just goes across the map, the lings can dodge it, especially since the Overlord has vision of when the Reaper goes out, and try to delay or even cancel the command center, which is really bad for a Terran. But we see in this case, it's just a hatch first again. Looks like it's going to be a quick third. Scarlet actually hid the drone for a few seconds in order to be able to maybe dodge out a Reaper. But now the Reaper's coming across with some backup behind it, and Masa is mixing it up. I'm glad to see it, even though he took the last match. Double factory pressure coming up. Now, the second factory is the kicker. Like, if you're just expecting... Queens don't deal with Cyclone Hellbat. Not nearly as well as your basic, like, Hellion Harass, a Liberator coming in, things like that. Another reactor being built. Eventually, this will be for, well, just factory units in general. If Scarlet can get a scout, the second reactor gives a lot away. Even if she doesn't see the second factory, going for the snipe on the Reaper. Nice grenade. And the lings are driven away. This can blindside you. If you don't realize this is happening, and suddenly there's 6-8 Hellions and 3-4 Cyclones, the question is, does he hold on to it, knowing that there's probably no information for Scarlet? Like, the last 2 games he's shown like a heavy 3cc powering macro Terran with bio and tanks and medevacs. This time this hits harder and faster. But there's less of an opportunity to transition. He's holding. He's just going to show the Hellions. Hellions? Okay. It's a Hellion build. Whatever. Scarlet kind of greedy in the sense that she's not sending in an Overlord. She's not really trying to actively scout with lings. She's building Queens. But oftentimes against this style, Queens are not enough. The Hellbats just do too much damage. The Cyclones just pump out the DPS with their Tornado Blasters. Now this is a bit of a giveaway. Masa floating his Rex. Is that worth it? To give that information away? I mean, he's coming out now. Scarlet is getting a Lair and +1 Carapace, but none of those things are gonna be... Okay, and there you go. Ranged attack, missile attacks. The Roach Warren just starts, though, without a Roach Warren. And she's making Spore Crawlers, which means she does not know this is Double Factory. Maybe some suspicions of mech, probably thinks it's mech. But here come the clones. Okay, the lings are coming in, trying to get us around. And Armory's finishing up, but Hellbats are not required when you have this much in the way of overwhelming unit counts. The lings trying to get on top of the Cyclone. The Cyclone with a lot of armor, but will be taken out. Unfortunately, though, even drones being rallied through. The Queen's trying to get on top, but the Queen's being ripped through. Hellbats coming up, more HP. Masa takes game 2 decisively with another sharp timing. Just cutting through Scarlet's defense. She had too many drones. Seems to be a bit of a trend. Might need to pull it back a bit. For the next match, we will see. That's a blindside build. Very potent. And it felt like Scarlet wasn't really putting much effort into scouting, to be honest. And, well, then, with builds like that, you get punished. Maybe Masa was doing that as a, oh, you haven't really sent Overlords in type of strat. Or a, I've macroed it out for the last few games, but no longer. And you might just think I'm doing the same thing. Dreamcatcher will be map number 3. Alright, Scarlet. Up against the ropes. Masa showing some decisive timings. Shows he can play both sides. Full on macro power, and then 2 base timing attack. Even in game 1, where Scarlet got a bit more of an edge to start things out, he was holding even. So, if you're Scarlet, well, a gas first, then a pool, no hatchery, 14-14. Now, is this going to be Ravagers or Lings? No second gas leads me to believe this might just be a big Zergling play. Maybe taking advantage of the fact that Masa has also not scouted very early. Not really anything past the Reaper coming out. But if the Zergling, like, if 20 Zerglings with speed come in, that command center is not going to finish. Masa is putting his barracks in the main. That's what weak Terrans do, I've seen on a sign somewhere. But how does this play out? Pulling off a gas, so it will be speed. With exactly 16 drones for max efficiency mineral saturation, and Zergling speed on the way. Oh wow, a reactor first. With no SCV scout. Scarlet should realize there was no scout as well. She's got overlords. It's very unlikely you're gonna just send the SCV like around the top and back down. That makes no sense. But the Zerglings are dodging out just to be careful. There's going to be literally no units when they get here. This command center will be canceled. The Marines will not be done. The Zerglings will come in and there will be no Marines. So this was a very strong choice of build. Well, we'll see in a moment. The Zerglings are holding up, waiting till speed, pulling up, which might actually be better. Either way, the command center not going to finish. Seeing the reactor first, Scarlet's going to know, good. I get this CC. What do we do next is the question. She can't go through the wall, but the CC is gone. Does Masa pull the boys to try to save it? Oh my god, getting up the ramp? You can't leave the door open. This... Well, 2 Marines going down. Well, now there's no way to save the CC, is there? More Lings are coming across. If he goes down the ramp, he runs the risk of losing everything. But the CC is so important. That's such a huge investment. It's actually still building. Well, added another SCV on. There's 4 Marines now. If he's able to finish it, that's big moves there. Okay. I take it back. I take it back after the conclusion here. The CC finishes. Oh, those Marines getting caught. I mean, there are 4 firing from underneath. Looks like Hellions will be the choice. Oh my god! Well, that doesn't seem very fair, does it? More Lings coming in. Scarlet now at 22 drones and an expansion, but the CC finished without too many SCV losses. And by that I mean, yeah, only the initial SCV was all that was lost. Oh, coming in. Getting on top of the Marines. Those 2 extra Lings changed the whole equation. Trying to get on top of the depot. Just gonna leave. Now, she thought that was Hellions coming out. That's, I believe, why. If those are Hellions, which most people would expect, then those Lings would have died immediately. Weren't Hellions. We know that. There's no way to know that. If you're Scarlet. Still maybe a little bit of a missed opportunity, especially considering they were Widow Mines. I'm actually kind of confused at the choice of Widow Mines. I guess, oh, it's going to be a mine drop. The sign of a smart Terran. The best defense is oftentimes for Terran a good offense. Just constantly putting on pressure, finding ways to do so. You can't just sit back and let a player like Scarlet get drones. Okay? Each one of these games has been decided by whether or not Scarlet has been allowed to drone safely. In the match she won, there was no real pressure put onto the droning. In the 2 matches that were lost, the over-droning or droning was the defining factor. Cloak Banshees are a follow-up here, but this Widowmine drop has to do something. Scarlet is starting to power up. There is no Spore Crawler in place. There's already a lair down. And a Spire is building. The Spire. Where is the Spire? Wait, what? It's on the edge of the creep. Has Masa seen it? Oh, Masa coming in with the Hellions at the same time. The Wombo combo. He's got the Widowmines and the Hellions. 11 drones going down. That is what I'm talking about. And the medevac will almost incidentally scout the Spire as well. So Masa in a great spot. Well, has good information. I'm not going to say great spot because Cloak Banshees do not stack up that great against Mutas. That's pretty hard counter, but he's holding on to the Banshees. Oh. Okay, we've seen players like Maru do this. Well, you realize, oh, this is not the tech I want. Cloak Banshees are not going to be good here. So you wait. You wait until they're so not good that no one expects them. Once there's 7 Mutas on the map attacking his base, that's when the Banshees come in and kill 15 drones. Not going to show him at the front. Closes the door. Alright. It is going to be a bio follow-up. I love that. Using the refinery to somewhat block. It's not perfect, but a little bit of obscurity there. That could get some direct hits on the Mutas. And Scarlet can't really afford it. After those drone losses, without a third base, she really wants a third, but without a third base, you cannot afford unneeded losses. Oh, there's no Spore. Oh, the Banshees are coming in. There's no Spore. Surprise! 2 at a time, one-shotting drones. The Mutas are coming back. This is buying so much space. Masa had 53 SCVs. He's got a 3rd command center done. He's started his upgrades. Masa taking a commanding lead in this game. Scarlet losing 17 drones. Masa with the perfect choice, the perfect timing. Now, Masa is in a position where he's cut out the Muta timing. If those Mutas fly into the Widow Mines, I don't think anyone would blame Scarlet for typing 2 Gs. Like, oh god. Gets 1 Widow Mine. You're gonna need more than that. Oh my god. Oh, surprise. Just smashing at every turn. The creep spread coming across. Scarlet trying to drone up. Masa has 3. There's gonna be, well, I don't actually know if that'll stay on a reactor, but he has all the production online. He's got 5 racks, 2 factories, a starport, building an armory, +1, 2nd engineering bay. Everything is powering up for Masa, while Scarlet still struggles to get a drone count that is respectable. The creep spread, despite all of what's happening, despite the limited number of queens, still reaching out quite far. But Masa, he's coming up with combat shield. He's getting medevacs now. An attack is not far off. It looks like Scarlet gonna double down on the Mutas. It's gonna be Muta Roach. And, I mean, with incredible Muta control and an overwhelming amount of roaches, I'm not gonna lie to you. This is a rough game. Down 30 supply against a Terran with better upgrades and more SCVs. That is really, really bad. But if there's a Zerg player who knows about comebacks, well, Scarlet. The minefield, you got to be so careful with the Mutas, but also it's so hard to be careful with the Mutas and macro back home. Great Muta micro, but Masa clearing creep across the map. The Widow Mine, a little bit of unfriendly fire. Six more drones go down. I'm not even short. Was there like a Widow Mine drop or something? Oh, a Marine drop. It was hidden by the production tab. Attack on the right side. Masa starting to hit. Like, if any of these drops start doing damage, even that drop killing 6 drones, it will be cleaned up. It looks like 5 meters have gone. I think it got a couple more. It's really starting to stack up here. Scarlet supply blocked at 135 over 130. Here comes the push. +2 attack. There are 14 Widow Mine. Oh, no! Devastating damage. And Masa is tearing through everything. Knows exactly where to put those mines. There's no vision until you come over the cliff. And now, when you're making roaches and you're down on supply, I have no idea how Scarlet is supposed to stop it. There is... the Marines alone could probably make it through. But it's not just the Marines here. Corrosive Biles, but he stutter steps out. Just barely avoiding them, which is the best way to do it. Masa with immaculate control of this game from start to finish. Holding on to the CC with minimal losses. Following up with the double prong harass, the beautifully timed Banshees. Scarlet, up until the Widow Mines hit, it looked like there might be a dream here. But the reinforcements continue to make their way across the map. Oh my god! The sacrificial Mutus will get a tank. Scarlet is holding, but Masa has 3-2 on the way. +2 armor about to finish. 4th base is mining. 75 SCVs. 3 more racks in production. And it looks like Masa will be taking this round off of Scarlet. Kind of throwing the whole group stage out of whack. And Masa will be our first undefeated player after 2 rounds. I know, Scarlet's still in this match. I will play ladder for 24 hours straight if she wins this game. Okay, that's how confident I am that Roach Ravager is not going to bridge this gap. It can hold, but there's no turning the corner on this one. He's stimming, he's winning, tearing through it all. Scarlet eating drone losses. The pickups are there as soon as the tides turn. Just boosting everything through to the natural. Scarlet trying to put out fires. But unfortunately, all the medevacs, another round, and another one, and another run. Run, one. The best words. The upgrades 2-2, but about to be +3 weapons for Masa. And it doesn't stop. The inexorable Terran push. He keeps stimming through. There's a lot of roaches, but tanks in the back. Widow Mines underneath the tank. Disgusting. 11 kills. A Liberator. Another double drop underneath the Liberation. Scarlet trying to put it all. Another drop as well. Masa. Incessant, relentless. But Scarlet is not dead yet. The Liberator. Oh. The slight dodge there. More drones. Oh. The Liberator gets 13 kills, 14, 15. There's a drop in the main! The concussive shell's breaking the Queen's knees. He actually micros it back. The base is down. GG! Masa takes it 3-1 with... And that wasn't a gimmick there. That wasn't... That was just great. He played better StarCraft today. And he will take it. And he'll be our first undefeated player after 2 rounds. Oh, that was pretty brutal. That was a clinic there on how to cut down a Zerg. All the Terran players very happy to watch that, and all the Zergs feeling it. So I get both. It's very dramatic for me. He should be moving into the next match presently, but before that I want to thank Mr. Lawson, well, for the subs, Mr. Lawson, Fuzzy Bunny, 2 months, If I Were a Suit for 32, thank you and welcome back. The Mustachio for giving the gift of winter to 20 people, including, Boom Kapow, Bellador, Frostlich, Crazy Goat Lady Amanda, Cash Dashy, Dark OG, Tudor, 11 Sud, Moneyman 01, Temetsky, Leb Gangster, Pacific, Aspen Fox, Dark Memories, The Mustachio, oh no, Shred Muffin, Nameceptions, Kloss Boss, Star Warrior 1234, Rob 7011, Darkness 1852. Thank you, XX Dark Mage XX for 32 months. Dream Shifter for 6. Bun This for the sub as well. Thank you guys for that. And remember, today is the last day of September. You have just under 8 hours in order. If you were gifted a sub or are currently on a gift sub, you can resub for just $1. Everybody wins. I get more money. You get a sub. Continued for another month past the gift sub, and Amazon gets your payment information. So everybody wins. Thank you guys for watching Starladder Ultimate Series, and we're already ready to go in the second round match. It's happening. So many things happening. I'm having trouble keeping them all together. But Cuddlebear, who is currently ranked 25 Grandmaster, 6,000 MMR, against Puck, who's at 6,300 in rank 9. So, top 25. It's PvP. We've seen a lot of dramatic PvPs. I don't know how late you guys were watching GSL last night, but upsets can happen. We'll refresh the standings. Also, he's not Protoss, he's Terran. I completely forgot. I don't know how I screwed that up. For some reason, I thought he was Protoss. It's Terran versus Protoss. Now, does he make any buildings in his base like a weak Terran? Let's find out. Either root for Cuddlebear or root for Root. I don't. It looks like we lost the admin. Yeah, we're about to get that second match started. We got 4 matches today, I think. I really need to be better about remembering these things. But they put the match... I love this. I love Starladder because they put the matches in front of me and I cast them. There's like no downtime. It's amazing. And we're ready to go. I believe there's 5 matches today, actually. We'll find out. No, wait. 4 matches. No, I figured it out. 4 matches. Doesn't matter. I just keep... We'll go all day. Go 20 matches. Neeb versus Scarlet and Masa versus Neeb and Puck versus Let's do it. Yeah, I hope it gets better with time. No, we're in the game. All right. In the top left of Acid Plant, an amateur series champion getting his chance to fight through to the Ultimate Series and compete with the best. It is the top Grandmaster Terran player, Cuddlebear. And in the bottom right, from Root Gaming, the American Pro Toss Puck. Been around since, essentially, from what I understand, the beginning of StarCraft 2. Cuddlebear is actually on Rise Esports, according to my information. Not sure why he's not using their tag, but yeah, Rise Esports, which is, and he's an American player, 19 years old, young Terrans. Is that a barracks? Young Terrans. So just a year younger than Maru. Maybe a year and a half now. I don't know how old Maru is now. Not old enough. Looks like Puck has scouted to the opposite side. He's looking for the Rex, but Terran's always... There always seems to be more places to proxy as time goes on. We've gotten to the point where players are just proxying, like, in the corner of the map. It isn't even quicker to get to the base. Like, you don't reduce the rush distance if you proxy in this corner, but you scare a Protoss, and that's worth a lot more. Puck finds it. Puck does find the proxy, and importantly sees that... Oh my... What is this? Are you... It's... He calculates he will kill the probe. He does, and he's just gonna proxy the factory. Ah! You dirty Terrans! You dirty, dirty Terrans! You dirty Ah! Oh my god. But will the Adept Shade, he let it away, right? Like, I think he let the Reaper die, so the Adept Shade wouldn't see the factory, like it wouldn't risk it. So Puck actually sees the concussive shells. He's gonna walk home. Oh my god. Oh my god. He doesn't know. I mean, the concussive shells are a giveaway. There's a factory somewhere. He knows that. He might not know it might be, he's right in the front door. But it seems like Puck has the response. A single Marauder, it does have concussive shells. It can break some knees. And if an Immortal gets out with 2 shield batteries online, this game gets real dicey here. But the Cyclone is already there. Some concussive shells, a little bit of repair, draining the energy very quickly. Now, you cannot repair Marauders, not without a medevac. More boys are being pulled. He's doubling down. Cuddlebear really committed to this, but the Immortal is nearly done. More shield battery. And the Immortal and another shield battery and Pylon. The Pylon being targeted, though. Re-shielded, though, by the battery. The damage is being done. Here comes the Immortal. Losing the Cyclone would potentially be game-ending. Gotta pop out that Cyclone on the opposite side. He does. High ground vision given by the factory. Some repair coming through. He breaks the knees of the Immortal, trying to target down one of the Marauders. He gets it, but the Immortal goes down as well. It's looking less and less likely that this push will be able to make it through. Another Cyclone. He drops it back down. The shield battery is being drained. The extra damage from the Marauders. Pretty nice for that. Ooh, the Marauder goes back. 5 HP. 1 shot away. But another Immortal. Puck doesn't have that many probes, but there is no expansion for Cuddlebear. There's no transition out of this. Does he just pull the rest of the boys? Is that the play? Gonna go for the high ground vision. A Cloak Banshee. Okay, there is a transition. I'm dumb. I should have known that. Cloak Banshee, the classic choice, but it was actually scouted by Puck, so I mean, this is not good. This was a pretty textbook defense here. Puck with a good scout, a good defense. He loses only an immortal and a handful of probes. And even though he didn't kill many units, he shut down. Like, there was no way Cuddlebear could have broken through. That's a convenient. He still gets the Marauder. I guess this is how you transition, right? Like, you do something so ridiculous you might have a chance. Oh, there's a shield battery in the main, which is quite a hard counter to the Banshee, as you can see. The Banshee will actually run out of energy, I think, before the shield battery. So, and there's an observer on the way. He's gonna double expand. If Cuddlebear gets away with this, then he has a dream. I do like the choice. I do like the choice. But you gotta do something drastic. I just camera selected the rocks. You guys wanna follow the rocks around the map? Very exciting. Banshee's coming in. 2 Banshees can one-shot pros, but you gotta be on point with it. Gonna get... Oh, God. Because they are a projectile, they have to be nearly perfect. He's not gonna drain that shield battery energy. We're gonna play a ring around the batteries. I guess if you continue to wail on them, you will actually out-DPS the batteries, but... Good luck. I mean... An observer scouts everything. Puck knows everything. So... What is his response? He's taken a third. He's added on a couple more gates, getting +1. This will bring him up to 6 gates. 6 gates. And he's getting a Warp Prism. He's going to attack. Honestly, at this point, if Cuddlebear takes damage from any angle, I don't see him recovering. He's making tanks. He's building up his production. Trying to get... Well, he just started his double NG bag. The double Banshee's still buying a lot of time. Cuddlebear catching up in workers. 5 gates on the way. A scan clears the ops. But, yeah, this is not... He's not playing around. Banshees, every second that he pulls Puck back towards his base is another second he can build up at home and have a better chance to defend. Now, here's the kicker. I'm actually kind of surprised. Like, he got a War Prism. Is Puck going to attack? It feels weird that he's not. He built a Prism. There's no splash damage. He's really taking his time here. The Twilight just finished. Should be charge, right? Puck, stylistically, is more of a Blink player, but Blink, I don't think, makes very much sense. I guess he's just going to try to fight it out. Cuddlebear can take a third. He's actually powered up. Puck has kind of let him. So, in this matchup, I'm really surprised he didn't send the Warp Prism out to do some pressure. At least keep Cuddlebear honest. And now Cuddlebear, like, he's going to have 1-1. He's going to get a third. He's got more SCVs than there are probes. And he's being aggressive. There's no charge to get on top of these tanks. Not yet. But, if he just... Okay, beautiful scan. He knows exactly where the army is. He's got a siege up. But without charge... Oh, this is dangerous. Be careful about those force fields. Okay, a couple don't really land. There's still 2 Banshees. Now, there is defense against the Banshees. If charge finishes... Well, 1-1 is going to finish for the Terran, so that really increases the power there. But charge is a big, big deal. Oh, if he could get the Archon. The first Archon being pushed into battle. There's only a couple force fields. Big tank shots coming out. He can drop on top of the tanks. Gonna try to get a hold of that. The Immortal should be able to take it out. He's pulling back. 1-1 is done. Charge is not. Has the damage already been done on the high ground? Stimming through. Still a lot of Immortals in the mix. Charge a few seconds out, but he will have to pick up and get away. A bit too much commitment on the high ground, not enough protection for the tanks, means that Cuddlebear not going to be able to break through. But still, Puck only at 49 probes. He actually lost, well, he's lost 13 probes total now. It looks like the Banshees were cleaned up. He tried to send them in, but there was so much going on. It looks like, well, one of these locations cleaned up the Banshees. They're no longer a threat. But Cuddlebear, he has been allowed to power up. There's not splash damage. He's still not getting splash damage. The Immortal drop into the main. Now this, sniping off the add-ons, really hurting the production. That's those medevacs. Just a taste of what's to come. 2 medevacs towards the main. Has Puck put anything in response here? No, he's going across the map. The double drop in the main. A lot of exposed tech as well. The Forge, the Templar Archives, potentially. I don't think there's quite enough bio to actually get through all these charge slots, but he's going for the pylons. Won't quite depower, but slows him down. Puck, I think that's a big call. Taking a risk here. But he's actually a little bit... Cuddlebear, well, as long as he can defend this attack, he doesn't have the... Where are his units? A lot of them are across the map. The boys have to be pulled. The Widow Mines do connect. At least one. There's a lot of units kind of strewn throughout the map. Some of them were in the main to defend a prism. And he's relieved him. Puck has relieved Cuddlebear of his third base, which is obviously very nice. The boys will be pulled to fight this. There's only a couple Archons. A lot of charge lots and Immortals, which will eat the damage. The Widow Mine brought into the fray. 20 SCV is going to die. It looks like Puck just rolling him over here. 2-2 is on the way, but Cuddlebear losing a critical amount of economy. Now, if he can kill all the Immortals, if the boys' lives are not sacrificed in vain, the drop is coming in on the third. A Warpin just came through, gets the Prism with something inside. I believe it was an Immortal. Gonna get an Archon as well. The third base being dropped. The Immortal, well, the Stalkers and the Zealots are being recalled to the Nexus. He beat the army in the front. 38 SCVs died. Another medevac goes down, but Cuddlebear still has the army supply. 2-2 is on the way. There's a lot of medevacs, but he really needs some Marines in the mix, too. These reinforcements might be enough. There's still no splash damage out of Puck besides, well, he's making the Archons. This medevac is pinned in the back with 2 Marauders, but the threat of it being there is still very dangerous. Puck now has the economic lead. He's slaughtered SCVs. But his army doesn't really get exponentially better over time. He doesn't have the upgrades. He doesn't have splash damage. So it's kind of this weird situation where Cuddlebear just will have better units. So Puck, a straight up fight is going to be very difficult. There's a handful of Stalkers in the main, but there's no vision here. He hasn't really had the time spent building observers. It looks like he might lose one medevac. He'll drop in the corner of the main. The Stalker's not quite in position. The rest of the army is going to have to scramble back. That's a full unload there. 2-2 is not done quite yet. The pylon goes down. He set this up earlier, and he'll finish it now. 5 gateways unpowered. The charge lots filtering through the gateways. A prison of his own design. Blinking back, going for the medevacs. 2-2 is done. There's a lot of bio here, and the Archons will force it to pick up and get out. He won't lose too much. Cuddlebear maintaining the supply. SCVs have been somewhat rebuilt. A double upgrade lead for the Terran, and I believe he has a ghost. Well, he has one ghost on the field. Ideally, you want a couple because it only an EMP only reduces 100 energy and shields. The energy, not an issue, but the shields on those Archons are very key. Oh, faster, fly faster. Fly. Okay. So, Puck having the gold, well, he's not really mining heavily from it, but +3 for Cuddlebear. It looks like the game will even out. Now, the key point that Cuddlebear doesn't know is the gold. That can change everything. The access to those minerals, 40% faster mining per probe, or better mining per probe, will kind of backstop his economy, even if he keeps losing probes somewhat to drops or harass or just bases getting taken out. Cuddlebear doesn't realize how healthy Puck's economy can be, especially compared to his own. I mean, mules are good. Mules are good, but still no splash damage besides the Archons. The Marine had a chance to scout. Cuddlebear, he now has 2 ghosts in the mix, and I think one of them might have 2 EMPs. Yes. So he has 3 EMPs banked up. With those washed across the board, his army and a good, well, with Widow Mines and EMP, the effective HP of the Protoss army plummets. But you gotta find the right fight. Does he know the army is there? He scans the edge of it. Now, does he want to pick a fight? A Liberator? There's nothing here to stop this. The army is swinging around. Puck does not have vision. His observers are actually too far out. He slips underneath the defensive perimeter, and we're going to a base trade. The Terran through the front. Puck going directly into the heart of the Terran base. The reinforcements cut off, and away we go. The natural eviscerated immediately. He's going to be stimming up into the main. Probes going down 19 immediately, but the SCVs will soon join them in the grave. Already, the building's being lifted. The reinforcements completely cut off. He's going for the Nexi. Without a Nexi, Nexus you can't recall. The boys will be pulled across the map. A third base already bruised with a lot of shields. But once again, he knows about the gold. Cuddlebear saw the gold. That's so important. Still microing back. The production is gone for both sides. The pieces are on the board, and nobody's making any more of them. Now, on paper, it's 1-2 upgrades, some zealots being shaved off. What are the armies? What do they look like? 7 medevacs. The 2 go super key here. Oh, the orbital chase down. There are no more orbitals. I take it back. There's one more orbital. But the boys can eat a lot of damage. Not all this army is healed up. The EMPs. The EMPs can win this game. He doesn't have a scan. Does he want to land to try to scan? Because he doesn't want to go up a ramp blind. It's a dangerous game now. Puck is still technically mining, but he can't build anything but probes, so... Oh, but that high ground vision, that positioning... Well, he's denying the mining. I'm not sure how important that is right now. The orbital will be found out. The building's getting very close and personal. The boys... He's building bunkers! What a choice! This is actually beautiful. This is incredible. EMPs, but a Guardian Shield is used. EMPs on the Archons. There's a shield battery helping out. The Ghost in the front, but the Bio holding strong. The shield stripped away. Just Stalkers and Immortals, the probes. Those aren't great fighting units. And it looks like Cuddlebear crushing through, allowed to power up, and will carry that momentum all the way to an upset victory. Well, wait, a Dark Shrine. A Dark Shrine! A Dark Shrine! Wait, did he warp in? He doesn't have any gateways powered. No! There's no detection for DTs. Cuddlebear has not rebuilt his base. Puck fighting for a draw, but not gonna find it. If he had a single gate powered, he killed the last orbital. It could have been, at the very least, a draw. But no. Cuddlebear takes it in a dramatic game number 1. I'm liking these game 1s tonight. And that'll be 1-0. For our up-and-coming Terran. Yeah, Puck took, I think, too long to get to splash damage. He kind of wasn't sure if he wanted to go for more economy, or if he wanted to get an attack. Like, he built a Warp Prism, and Warp Prism, like, Warp Prisms aren't great for sitting at home with, right? So, it felt like he wasn't sure if he wanted to just expand or attack. But, he did a little of both, which ended up opening him up to a backstab. Yeah, when Terran gets better upgrades with that many medevacs, it gets tough. All right, game number 2, blue shift. Our American showdown. Cuddlebear showing some strength. And that was all off the double proxy, speaking of, by the way. And SCV's going on the map. All off the double proxy. He proxied a barracks halfway across the map and then a factory outside his front door. Double expanded off of that. So, at the very least, you have to know he's decisive. Okay. A very decisive play out of Cuddlebear. Every move he made felt like he had committed to it in a split second. Puck, on the other hand, not so much. So we'll see if that ends up being a factor again. Alright. Well, this is the standard. As we're building a barracks in a next to almost seemingly random location. I don't know if there's enough room for a tech lab there right now, but you can always lift it. Now, it is 2 gas to follow it up. Puck, once again, he had a nearly impeccable defense of the proxy last time. This looks like it'll be different. He's building a Marine. This is Reactor Cyclone proxy. I saw actually questions on why, while Puck scouted the Tech Lab barracks in the last match for Concussive Shell Marauder, how he knew there was a factory without seeing it. His probe had scouted the base, no factory there. Well, actually, there's another build that Maru used to a failure against SOS. But 90% of the time, Concussive Shell Marauder means you're proxying a factory for Cyclones as well, because you can concussive a unit, slow it down, and then that allows the Cyclone to kill it. Good combo. Maru actually did a 2-Rax version, where he just got another proxy Rax, and he's like, surprise, it's more Marauders, but actually gets countered by the same things the Cyclone does, and Marauders can't be repaired. So that's a real gotcha build. Alright. The Rax being floated. Puck now, well, he knows, oh, here we go. Weak Terrans build buildings in their base. Everybody knows that. We got a strong Terran and Cuddlebear. The Marine coming back to kill the probe, which does give away that this is very likely. Well, on seeing that the barracks is floating into the base, Puck has a very good idea of what this is. Now, you might not know about the kicker, which is the starport. A medevac coming in, and that can allow you to circumvent the shield batteries entirely. The robo is just now finishing. Oh, the pylon is exposed. The Stalker's out of position. He's going to have to use some energy to reshield that. He does. That drains an entire battery. Cuddlebear. Adding on the depots and the medevac. That's going to be the decider here. He hasn't pulled SCVs, so every shot on these clones is dangerous. Oh, I love this. He's going to drop the Hellions in the main, while at the same time pushing the front to draw the Stalkers out of position. A 2-pronged Terran play. Oh, that's really smart. And the barracks also giving him vision on exactly where he can drop, where the units are, stuff like that. Does he even bother? Oh, Puck. He's gonna realize at the very last second. The probe comes out. He's like, okay, wait a second. Does he pick up the... Oh, he gets it barely. The pickups are there. Only, well, 4 probes so far. Not quite what he was looking for. 4 probes, and what happened at the front? He lost both clones to a single immortal. It has 3 kills. So, this did not go well. This went very badly. 4 probes for 4 Hellions and a medevac. And then nothing for 2 Cyclones and a Marine. So, yeah, this is way worse than last game. Somehow, he defended it even more strongly. Last game, at least, he lost, like, an Immortal, maybe a Stalker, a few probes, like... Oh, the Immortal just scouts this. He's like, wait a second. You don't belong here. No cloak for you. The Banshee has no clothes. Five Rax is the follow-up. Still a double CC play. So decisive out of Cuddlebear. I love it. Now, this time I think Puck will feel confident. Get the Prism, get the Immortals in the Prism, and go ruin his day. That's what I think he should do. The Banshee does come in. Is this out of battery range? Yes. This is actually super annoying. He's not going to kill much, but he does drag it back for a moment. And that gives him more time for his 5 racks to come online. He has a starport on the other side of the map. The Stalkers, already suspecting this would be the case with the Liberator. It'll be pushed back. Can it actually? I think it can hide at the very back. I've had this situation before. It's really annoying. So now he's tied some Stalkers back at the base. Puts the Immortals in the Prism. I don't know if he'll attack with the rest of the army at this point. He has to... Too much is anchored at home, unfortunately. The Observer sees all. Honestly, the 2 Immortals can beat 1 tank and 4 Marines. Just drop on the tank, and then... Stim has started, but will it finish? Immortals are coming in. They do approximately infinity damage to Tech Labs. Unfortunately, 6 probes being lost on the other side. The Banshee's coming back. He did lose the Tech Lab on the factory, but the Tech Lab on the barracks, the important one, is being maintained. Oh my god. A Stalker goes down. The Liberator getting some nice kills, and with the kill on that Stalker, it looks like it will survive. So Puck, not quite getting the counter damage he wanted, and taking some at home. Now he's down to 35 probes. Charge is on the way. Don't even... 2 gases. That's all you ever need. That's all you has to have. He's only mining with 4 total in gas right now. You don't need much gas for charge mounts. Fun fact. But will Cuddlebear... He's going to have Stim. No upgrades. But... Is there enough to defend this? Charge is 10 seconds out. Stim is done. He's right at the front door. Will the boys be pulled quickly enough to... No, absolutely not. Guardian Shield, very helpful. He's going to drop on top of the tank. No Combat Shield. No Medivacs. Where did the Warp Prism go? He killed the Prism. Well, that makes this awkward. Banshee coming in, trying to do some damage. The Liberator trying to do the same thing. Oh my god. The Liberator actually slips by because the pylon was in the way. Will he get any more probe kills? No, it'll just take a pot shot at the Stalker. So, on killing that War Prism, he killed the line of attack. The Banshee and the Liberator are gone now. Cuddlebear, he did lose 14 SCVs. He did have to pull the boys, but we're in kind of the same scenario as the last game, where Cuddlebear's going to have quicker upgrades. He's going to have 3 CCs. He's not in as great a position economically, but he's survived to get to Medivacs, to get Combat Shield. He'll probably survive to get 1-1 unless this attack just barrels across the map right now. He needs another Prism if he's going to attack. He doesn't have one. I mean, I guess you can attack without the Prism, but then you don't have another round or 2 of Warpins. Scan sees the army. He's going to click and be like, oh, no upgrades? At least I'm close. Little does he know he's actually ahead, Cuddlebear, in upgrades. Well, he might know, but how many gates are there? 5 plus 4 equals 9. Don't question my counting skills. This is a little awkward. I'm not, like, both armies could win this fight right now. It just depends on if the tanks are sieged up, if the Widow Mines connect, if Guardian Shield is on point, Force Fields, all that. But with 1-1 done, the Terran army has gained significant strength here. Those charge lots, punched the wrong ticket there. Remember, this is just the second of 4 matches today. 4 best of 5s in round 2. As I'm trying to get back and say the other best of 5s, but we'll find them. You know what? We got, I think it's Neeb versus Jardozer, and then Future versus True. That should be really good, too. True playing TVZ is always entertaining, at the very least. Wasn't there a Dark Shrine at some point? I think he canceled it. Yeah, I think it was scouted and he canceled it. But 2-2 is on the way. Now, that's going to be advantage. When you have even supplies and charge, like, if you're going to play this brute force gateway unit style, You gotta at least be even on upgrades, and ideally ahead. Unless you're Has, in which case math doesn't matter anymore. Because you're trying to trade with Terran Bio, and that's some of the most effective units in the game. You have medevacs to heal them, they fire incredibly quickly. So if you're not able to survive some initial valleys with enough units, then you're dead. A scan comes out, gonna see no gas at the natural. There is gas coming up at the third, but this should be a giveaway. This is a very heavy charge lot style. No 2-2 started yet, but he's gone really heavy on the libs, and he's getting ghosts. So Cuddlebear understands how to counter it. A scan will see the gas at the third. I don't know if he clicked and saw how much was remaining. Oh no, he had everything sieged up. There's still a lot of Widow Mines and ghosts. A Liberator kind of gets caught astray. The upgrades are even right now. The charge lot's trying to close the distance. There's not that much energy for force field, but a round of slicing force fields across the front could definitely make the difference. How many Widow Mines on the field? We got 8. 2 ghosts, 2 Liberators, building 2 at a time. He's got 5 medevacs overhead. Puck is lurking. He's almost got 2-2 done. He only has 50 probes, so there's very little economy here. I mean, there's enough for charge lots, right? The classic. And with 2-2, is he just going to try to bring the hammer down? Will Cuddlebear be ready? He just started his 2-2. The charge lots are lining up for an attack. He's going to warp in a few more, but here we go. The Widow Mine's not burrowed to start the fight. He really needs to get those down, and where they won't actually kill his own units, but that might not be the case. He's trying to work through the left side. The Liberator actually survives. The Sentry kills it. The Bio won the fight to the north, though. Cuddlebear, these cost-effective units, but the Widow Mines have already fired. Another round of charge lots is coming in. 2 Liberators going to change the equation slightly. He's going to blink to the side. EMPs come through. He EMPs a couple of his own medevacs, unfortunately. The orbital! The orbital! Do you even left? He does. Trying to target down another good EMP. The stutter step back. Puck dropping in supply. Another round of charge lots could turn the tides. Still a long way off getting 2-2 here for Cuddlebear. Three Liberators at a time. Those Liberators, I mean, you have to have enough anti-air. The Liberators start chipping away every time these fights happen over and over. The Liberators, if they're not killed, more and more damage. I know that's how units work, but exponentially so, because you have to spend Stalkers are not fighting units. You don't really want Stalkers that much in this unit composition. You don't want to spend money on warping them in again. But he has to if the Liberators keep being produced. The Widow Mines keep recharging. If 2-2 finishes for Cuddlebear, he's in a great spot. Widow Mines connecting, but 4 of them do fire. He will retreat them to the back line. Alright, EMPs, but the Ghosts in front. They will be killed off right at the start. The Widow Mines, Liberators in the back really helping out. 2-2 closing. He's gonna have another Liberator. Those upgrades so important. These fights are about even now, and Puck is up by 2 upgrades. 8 SCVs went down kind of incidentally in that fight, or maybe he had some charge lots somewhere? I don't think so. So since these fights are even, with Puck a 2 upgrade advantage, what happens when the upgrades are even? Not great things for the Protoss, I'll tell you that. So Cuddlebear loses some SCVs, but he doesn't quite need a 4th base yet to compete with Puck, especially if he's able to do damage on the opposite side. A scan sees Puck kind of waffling about whether or not he's going to attack. +3 armor is on the way. The drop, there's no defense. There, Warpins, he's using every Warpin at the front. This drop, doing a great job, going straight for the probes, and Puck doesn't have that many to lose. A recall comes out, bringing just Stalkers back, but Cuddlebear is out of there. This is getting dicier and dicier. Where's the storm? Maybe Disruptors, Colossi, splash damage of any kind. The Liberators, I mean not the Liberators, the Archons though, like, they're a soft splash. They're not a tsunami, they're a gentle, they're a water balloon. Cuddlebear now, when the Terran is on offense and dropping, well, this drop will get taken out, but Puck down. Are we doing it again? What is wrong with you people? A base trade. Wait, Puck didn't know this was a base. He just used the recall. He's completely out of position. There are 2 Disruptors on the way. The Liberator going to work on probes. The Natural is being ripped to shreds. Deja vu. The 3rd is gone for Cuddlebear. He's retreated to the high ground. This is still a deadly army. It should be able to break up. A disruptor! Kills just 2 Widow Mines. That's not the end of the world yet. Tries to throw a curveball in. Good hit. Gonna try to retreat. If he can get another couple disruptor shots, that might be able to turn the tides. The Terran working through the base. The wall is shut. The way is shut. You're not getting into the main. So both players able to stabilize a little bit better, sacrificing Marines. Another disruptor on the way, but that's a dream. Cuddlebear gonna re-land one of his orbital commands at the 3rd. Maybe get some mining. 29 to 35 SCVs. Oh, there's another disruptor shot. He whiffs it high and outside. Another shot. Tries to bring it through. Finds nothing. He's almost struck out. The disruptor's being chased down. But the rest of the units are coming back. Puck's still ahead on supply. He's gonna lose his disruptors and his production, though. There's 7 liberators on the field. That's scary. That's very scary. But these liberators, he can blink on them right now. The Guardian Shield coming in. Oh, and they're unsieged. He gets 1. He gets 2. The Liberator's in position at the top. Cuddlebear barely mining. He has just a handful of SCVs. Oh, these units are so badly bruised. This is not where he wants them to be. He wants to try to get the ghost out. He picks up. Does he target the right medevacs? Yeah. Oh, wait. He gets 1. The Liberators siege up. This isn't over yet. 4 Liberators with a couple ghosts underneath. Puck still has 29 probes. Cuddlebear is still mining as well. Storm is on the way. But he has to rebuild gateways because he has no production. And all the gates are right over here. The Blake Stalkers get behind, unfortunately. There's still a few Stalkers. Still a few Stalkers. Cuddlebear is pinned. The Storm, though. Like... And this time, it's 2-3 upgrades. The Terran does not have an advantage. Puck has stabilized. Whereas Cuddlebear lost the brunt of his army. Oh my god. Triggers the Baryon and Immortal. This time, advantage goes to the Protoss. More ghosts being built. Does he have he's rebuilding medevacs and Liberators. A scan shows the army. Oh, he sees a High Templar. He is building a ghost. The income precious low. Trying to escape. He's pinned back here. Oh, that's a lot of important units in the medevacs. He's got 3 ghosts in those medevacs. Terran does not have recall. Get on it, Blizzard! The storm. The calm before the storm. As Puck, I think, is confident. If he just holds on, he thinks he's done enough damage. Is he right? Time will tell. Because Cuddlebear is mining. Well, a little bit less now that this Zealot is here. I feel like he could be sending out a few more Zealots, but it's really hard to judge right now. Cuddlebear, I mean, the units that Cuddlebear has are good. Unfortunately, 3 out of 4 ghosts are in medevacs that are in limbo right now, in purgatory. The chances that those ghosts will be able to unload and get their spells off is up for debate right now. An observer sees this. Did he notice that? A scan. He sees an opportunity. He's gonna try to use the liber. Oh, he comes in. You drop the ghost. EMP. He nails the EMP on. But the Liberator's going to work. The Stalkers, their shields are down. Oh my god. He picks up again. He survives. The Ghost Hit Squad. Mission impossible. They survive. Puck now down in supply. Cuddlebear making huge moves, but the 3rd base, there is Storm. He needs... Oh, there goes the orbital. He looks at it and takes it down, but EMP, feedback on the Ghost. Insta-kill. That was an important ghost. That was the only ghost that isn't in a medevac with 56 HP. Oh my god. He gets out! He gets out! The ghosts! They survive. Cuddlebear has to attack. He only has 1 base mining. He needs to get those ghosts into the fray. He needs to get them in a medevac. Without the EMPs, Puck surely wins. But with EMPs, it's much, much, much closer. Oh, the Storm just... Oh. He's trying not to get feedbacked. Oh, the EMPs! He throws one! He misses the mark! There are still Storms! But the Widow Mine's connecting. The stutter step back. Nearly impeccable. Incredible storm on the front side of the army. That may have turned the tides here. Puck still is building. He's got an economy. There's only one orbital left. There are no ghosts. Oh, there's one ghost. There's one ghost. Oh, it needs to do so much here. I think even if he EMPs, there might still be a storm. No, that's not true. The ghost. The ghost from the side. Puck can't see that ghost. Oh, does he throw it? He hits! He hits the EMP! The Archons are low. There's no energy left on the Templar. There's a Liberator at home. There's a lot of Templar with Storm. But these units can't pursue. 6 probes went down, bringing him back to 38. It's still Puck, like, it's Puck's game to lose, I would say. He has the economy. He still has so many Templar. But these ghosts. Special operative, right? And, like, we're one storm away from the tide being completely shifted. Puck, as long as he splits his Templar, it's going to be so difficult for Cuddlebear to find an opportunity. Oh, no, not again. Not 2 times in one game. I can't handle this. Come on, guys. Come on, guys. And we're race trading again. Now, I don't know if Puck will agree to this. Like, are we going to see a recall? Well, if he kills the orbital, there are no orbitals left. And that is nearly checkmate. He just needs to get the storms. The Marauders go forward. They'll weather the storm. That ghost! It's so dangerous to leave the ghost out there. There's still a couple storms. Oh my god, the ghost lives. The boys! The boys! The dangerous game! He's not rebuilt his base and is being revealed. Another storm. Doesn't even have the units. Another storm, but he storms his own summits. Now, wait a second, where's Puck's army? Oh, he needs that ghost so bad! Where's the EMP? The EMP! He lands it! But doesn't matter. GG, WP, and 24 minutes and almost 2 base trades later, Puck ties up the series 1-1. The ghost, though. That game, Puck. Still a very solid defense early. But the mid-game almost all went to Cuddlebear. It was just Puck's momentum. I don't know. Like that, there's no way to be like, this is a mistake. And we're going right into game 3, best of 5. That was only the first 2 matches. And here we go, game 3. Well, whenever yep, players are ready. Let's do it. Game 3. What a series so far. This is a bit more dramatic than yesterday, I would say. Lost and found, game number 3. Does he build a building in his base like a weak Terran, or do we continue the trend? Let's find out. In the top right, Root Gaming's American Protons player. Holding on and taking it back. Where are you going? Oh, don't. Oh. Well, it's a cannon rush. It's Puck.
Game paused.
Oh. A moment. Did you know you can subscribe with Twitch Pro? Oh, we're back. Those are some long seconds.
Game resumed.
It's either a double gate or a cannon rush. It's a double gate. Okay. Cuddlebear building a building in his... Wait, no, I'm dumb. Wait, am I dumb? Yes, I'm dumb. I take it back. I take... I'm sorry. I'm sorry. I will never cast again. I will put down the casting microphone and pick up my, dumbbells as a professional lifter, because we're gonna get mad gains. Anyways, he just sent the probe out super early to know if there's a proxy or not. Yep. It looks like he's actually gonna go for the cyber core still. Even before, even though he knows there's not a proxy, even though he's seen, has he seen the one gas? Yeah, he's seen one gas, I believe. I mean, based on the fact it's in the base. No puns. Don't you hate it when SCVs just decide they're just gonna chill in the middle of the thing they're building? Thanks, RNGesus. But it is going to be an expand over here. Just a little bit of a quicker cyber core. Very safe out of puck. So we'll see how this plays out. Cuddlebear is looking for potential double gate plays. But a slower start. And I gotta say, like, I feel, even though Cuddlebear's shown some really strong mid game, I feel like if there's no shenanigans early and Puck is allowed to execute his plan, that's when he's the scariest. Like, if you don't do something to kind of interrupt what he's doing, because his micro is incredible. Like, the last couple games, a little weird, right? Like, so wasn't able to showcase it how he usually does, but he's also a very momentum-based player. Like, if he gets a little, well, tilted, or a little emotional or something, sometimes that can affect him. And I say that, like, I don't know about Cuddlebear, because Cuddlebear isn't nearly as accomplished as Puck is. Puck has played in WCS. He's won tournaments before. He places highly. I don't know. Maybe Cuddlebear's the same way. But I'm impressed by Cuddlebear so far as well. Very decisive Terran play at the very least. Unfortunately, he let an Adept in his base, and it just gave him the runaround. And he's going to lose 2 SCVs, so that's not as fun. It's going to be Blink, which is a classic choice. The Blink's so strong. It's a nice middle ground choice, because having Blink Stalkers is good for offense and defense. You can put pressure on a Terran. The best defense is a good offense. Like, you can see if they're moving out with their units. It forces them to show what units they're using to defend. And you have utility to deal with things like Liberators, Medevacs. And ideally, you want to get Blink sooner rather than later. Because if you don't get Blink early on, like before a Terran has Stim and Medevacs, then, well, Stalkers are just not a unit you want to be building in the mid-game unless you're going to go Blink Stalker Disruptor. But either way, you want to get it as soon as possible in order to get as much value before the Terran starts trading a lot more efficiently. Yeah, the amount of Stalkers should give this away to the Reaper. I would love some Blink Stalker Disruptor play. I think that would fit Puck so well. There is a Robo. It's either a... We don't know if it's a safety... He hasn't added on the gas at the net yet. That's quite late to be adding on gas there. So, I don't think it's Disruptors. But he does have the gas banked up for a Robo Bay potentially, so I might be wrong. Just cover all your bases. Say, maybe this, but if it's not this, could also be another thing. I'm a professional. On the other side, Cuddlebear has opted. He's got 2 medevacs, stim on the way, gonna walk his way across the map. It's far too risky. Yeah, it's gonna be charge. He knows that blink is a risk. If he picks up in the medevacs, not only does he not have units at home, but he risks them getting sniped off. Stim is done. Now the dance begins. Those Marines are very vulnerable, but also they do damage very quickly. 5 more gates on the way. Another brute force play out of Puck. Stalkers coming in. There is a tank to backstop this. Beautiful blink micro. The only unit he's lost is the Sacrificial Adept. So we'll call it a perfect game so far. Cuddlebear isn't sure. Maybe there's an observer. He could blink into the main. About to be true. The risk is there. Does Cuddle have... He has energy for a scan. Does he see the obs? Is the blink going to come through? That's risky business for Puck. He's kind of waiting. Does Cuddlebear actually see that? He probably saw the stalkers on the edge there. And there is already a 3rd base up. Puck has had 52 and counting... Well, 51 and counting probes. Cuddlebear has not slacked on the SCV production. Oh. Is he going to scan? It's over here. Cuddlebear! Cuddle. Okay. He can't hear me. Oh, there's an observer at the front, but it will escape. Puck just constantly harassing. Charge is done. So are 8 gateways. No upgrades yet. This is a solid +1 push coming out of Cuddlebear, but if the Stalkers are able to whittle it down enough and buy enough time, well, he should be able to crush it. Charge lots are incredible against tanks, as long as you have the numbers. Double upgrades on the way. The gate count should give away that this is charge lots. What? The Blink Stalkers on the other side of the map. Guys, you're allowed to fight each other. The boys are pulled. This is looking not great for Cuddlebear. This is exactly what Puck needed. Like, he can recall now. He can recall. The charge lots getting a little ahead of themselves. Cuddlebear, once again, is in a scenario where he doesn't have mining. The Blink Stalkers are coming through. The charge lot's getting ahead of the Guardian Shield here a little. But are the Marines good enough? No. Puck just takes a decisive victory. And now we see this is what happens if you build buildings in your base. Take notes, Terran players. And that was without upgrades. Puck closing on 1-1. He lost no probes. Nothing went... Oh, my. Okay, thankfully those aren't Blink Stalkers. Now he has to make... Cuddlebear has to make very high-risk plays now in order to get something. But look at this vision. Look at Puck's vision.
Mineral field.
He sees him.
Have engaged the enemy. Mineral field depleted.
A double drop scan to see if there's an obs. There is not. His chances are in limbo right now. I mean, he's trying to macro it out, but this scenario is nothing like the ones we had in the previous games. I'm just staring at the mini-map. The 4th, well, that's convenient, but the Stalkers may blink down. No cancel. Okay, little moves here. A drop at this base, gonna kill a few probes. He might be able to pick up a sentry. He goes for it, gets it, picks up. There's only tickle beams for anti-air. Cuddlebear making good moves, but it could all go wrong in just a moment. The blink in. This is actually like he's killing a lot of Stalkers here. Looks like there was another cancel or kill on the 3rd. Making up somewhat for the loss of the double drop, but honestly, I would rather have those double medevacs than worry about a 4th base for a few more seconds. Charge lots coming in. It looks like they will be cleaned up, but if he gets the tank, it's probably worth it. No. I mean, little moves going well for Cuddlebear, but the broad strokes are shaping up nicely for Puck. +2 on the way, but 2-2 nearly done. Robo Bay, 4th Bay. When you've just landed your 3rd and they're fighting for a 4th in this matchup, I do appreciate, like, no matter what Cuddlebear is doing, and this is really important for Terran, I feel. just the way Terran works. No matter what he's doing, it feels like he's committed to it. He's like, I'm doing the double drops. I'm doing this attack. I'm sitting back. I'm powering up. Like, there's no indecision, which sometimes can be a bad thing, right? But a lot of the times, that's what it takes to make a top-tier Terran player, because you can't hesitate. You can't be like, do I want to send out this Liberator? Do I want to send out this drop? Because the 2 or 3 extra seconds might mean those Stalkers are warped in time, right? Obviously, that goes for every race all the time, but since Terran has the most obvious, like, split between harass and multitasking and, decisive attacks, that's why it's so important. So, +2 attack is about to finish. Cuddlebear actually ahead on supply. He is macroed up a storm. Which doesn't... I mean, I guess you understand the colloquialism. A scan in the main. He sees the Robo Bay. He sees the upgrades. I mean, it's not going to get better from here on out unless he wants to go for a ranged Liberator Turtle, which... The army out in the center? That's not a huge army. If Cuddlebear could force that into a fight, he could win it. But, especially with the Widow Mines, but Puck doing a lot of zone defense here. Oh my god. Oh, I thought he was going to pick them all up. These are big moves. Big moves out of Cuddlebear. He still has a big enough army with Widow Mine hits. He's drawing the army away. Puck doesn't have the vision. Well, when is he going to see the drops? And what is he going to do? He sees a scan over him. He still doesn't see the drops. There's an unload on this side. He's drawing the entire army over. Here are the disruptors. Cuddlebear pulling back. He's at 181 supply. He's done a good job of baiting the whole army. There's so much here. The disruptors on the back lines. The drop is going in at the same time, but the Widow Mines will burrow. Disruptors could make a big... Oh, massive hits! But he's microing on this side. The recall comes through, but a 1-2 punch knocks out most of Cuddlebear's main force. And it's all crumbling. Oh, knocks down the medevacs with units in them, and Cuddlebear plummets 60 supply nearly instantaneously. And just like that, it crumbles. Even gets the medevac on the backside. Now, that was the most dangerous time for Puck. When he didn't have enough disruptors to keep kiting constantly, and he's up against 2 very strong armies, but he crushes both. He finishes off one before the second one can get into position, and Cuddlebear just a little bit too slow. He kind of has to just hope he can get as close to 200 supply as he possibly can. I mean, he's still he has 70 SCVs. He's still building up, but Puck has the disruptors. He's already at 3-3. All we need to see now is a Templar Archives. He might already have one. He doesn't. Templar Archives, another Robo for Colossi, like a closing tech. Or he can just batter him down. He might have that position right now. An attack on the left. It looks like Puck taking a... Oh my god, the Trail of Tears. Every SCV dies. Widow Mines, huge connections. But... Oh my god. Okay. Those were some very good Widow Mine hits. That turned this around a little bit. But still, Puck coming in. He has a half dozen, 7 disruptors, I think, in the mix there. 8. That's almost too many. And are we doing it again? If Cuddlebear just goes forward, I mean, if the disruptors pop off too early and there's a cooldown, oh my god. Recall's on cooldown for another 20 seconds. Like, he's going to the other side of the map. The EMP's hit. He has to scramble back. Cuddlebear, he lost the orbital in that position. +3 is done. And there's no splash damage here. The recall is off cooldown. He can recall. He's just going to flank around the back. He should have the units. Remember, 3-3. Well, the disruptors are lagging behind. The one unit that could turn the tides here. He's trying to get out. I mean, the gateway units might just crush this army on their own. Oh, EMP is quite good against Stalkers. The disruptors are so far behind. Puck trading. Oh, no. The Titanic lifeboats pick up. And these fights are quite a brawl. This game has been a series of Puck victories, but Cuddlebear definitely lashing out. He's Wait, did he build that? Or did the other command center survive and I didn't notice? Probably the second one. I don't know. Yeah, he has not lost an orbital. I'm just bad. That is 8 disrupt. Good luck with that. Looks like he's about to puck him up. 2 Novas. Shave off a ghost. Another exploratory Nova. If he can EMP, he gets an EMP, but at what cost? Oh, God. There's no counter damage coming out. Puck's still at 80 probes. Like, now this is real lasting damage. 47 SCVs. He's denied his third. The Liberator count. I don't think there are any ghosts left. There are not. The danger balls. Looks like a Widow Mine hit these guys. Gets one Ruptor. Does not get that one. Oof. There's no counter damage is the problem. Like, Puck could now lose this army. He doesn't want to, but he could lose this army and rebuild it by the time Cuddlebear gets across the map. The only real way is, like, if Puck move commands in with all his units into the Liberator's hand stim bio. That's not a move command. He's fighting back. Big Novas, dunking it down. That should be the finishing blow. 2 Gs in a row. Another hit. And Puck with a solid victory in game number 3. Liberator taken out. G. My jam. Cuddlebear had some moments there, but didn't quite translate them into total victory. Or any victory, actually. Hopefully you guys are enjoying the Starladder Ultimate Series. By the way, I'm very happy to be here casting. The games today have been incredible. Even that game. Before this, Scarlet versus Massa had a couple great ones. Especially game 1. Those with clout pass, the rest folk out cash. As you enter the spot, temperatures hot. Young ballers spinning infinite guap, pipping the block, sipping they pop. The bottles put your tip in the pot, or let the brown liquor hit your furnace, flipping and watch. So with the gal in my wine up, the body like so, and the man in my love bullshit party like bro. It's ladies' night. There's baby mama or maybe wife looking for love in this crazy life like that. All right, we'll load it up for game number 4. As soon as Puck is ready on Fracture. Here we go. In the bottom right of Fracture Ellie from Root Gaming, the American Protoss showing his strength in that last map. It's Puck. And in the top left, back to basics, Rise Esports, American Terran, Cuddlebear. And there's an SCV on the map. Puck scouting incredibly early for those proxies once again. Well, the lack of information is information in and of itself. There's a barracks, and Cuddlebear not messing around with this one. But it looks like Puck... I've wondered, we've kind of gotten to the point where it's like, do you even look for the proxy? Does it even matter? Oh, there's a second Rex in the main. But Puck knows that's a second Rex, right? That's a little late. He built the first Rex over here. Okay, does he think it's not a proxy? Now, I don't think that's true. Like, he's getting a second guess before Expo. I think he's pretty sure. I think he noticed. I wasn't paying close attention, but... That's the story of my casting. I wasn't paying close attention, but I think something happened. A Marine at the back. Not able to kill off the probe. Gets the important information. There's no add-on yet and no expo. Not that he expected there to be one. A Stargate tucked in between the gas geysers. Now, this could actually backfire hard. It really depends on the exact timings. Like, when does Cuddlebear decide to move in with concussive shell marauders, which is what he's banking up for. He's trying to literally knock out all the defenses, but if he goes for, if this is scouted, he can just go for a void ray, and a void ray, one void ray and one shield battery kind of just destroys all of this. Does he have concussive? He does, but he gets away from the marauder in time. It's been revealed in time for the Stargate to complete. Puck doesn't have the minerals for a void ray yet. Will he just go for an oracle? He doesn't have the gas either. A bunker being thrown down. Puck tried to expand, but it doesn't look like he quite knew exactly what this was, because trying to expand was very ambitious against a 2 rags play. And then going for Stargate. He does get the kill on the SCV building the bunker. The Oracle gonna be a very important part of things. The probes are pulled. He needs to get that Oracle out. Unfortunately, it looks like the Oracle might have to be used for defense. And the bunker did not finish. Well, the bunker did not finish, so he might be able to clean this up. He's going straight across the map, though. Okay, he's committing. Which means Cuddlebear has a window to maybe break through here. But at the same time, Puck is going to do a lot of damage on the other side of the map. The Oracle has a lot of energy. Potentially, almost every single SCV could die. This might actually just be a hard counter. I might be entirely wrong. Be like, Puck understood exactly what was happening the whole time. He wanted Cuddlebear to do an attack, commit, and then have nothing at home and lose all his SCVs. Because that's what's happening right now. It's a lot of dead SCVs. It's another Oracle here. He can just kill... Nope. No bunker for you. Oh my god. It's a massacre. He's lost 11. And now the Oracle is killing the Marauders. Yeah, okay, so never mind. I think I'm pretty damn sure Puck knew exactly what was going on and knew exactly how to hold that and do counter damage. And it looks at this point like, what do you even do now? Cyclones and Prey. Oh my god, he's just going to expand. I mean, the last 2 games, when his early pressure, his essentially almost all-in pressure was shut down hard. Cuddlebear double expanded and hoped for the best. But this time, there's a Stargate. A Stargate does counter damage nearly immediately. You can continually harass. The games before this, it was a Robo. A Robo is a bigger commitment if you want to counterattack. It can't just get over there and kill SCVs easily. It's more for defense, but a Stargate cuts both ways. So I don't see the window here for Cuddlebear to just go for double expand and get away with it like he did in the previous games. He's already lost 12 SCVs. That's too many SCVs to lose. Even the CC being delayed. Oh, it's a disaster. The units are tagged. There's not even enough to kill an Oracle if it comes up. Alright, this... Cuddlebear has shown he isn't a very strong player, but Puck has kind of found his footing in the last 3 games. Progressively more in each one. And I am hard-pressed to see anything for Cuddlebear here. I said that in the other games, but even more so because of the Stargate. He has... What? 5 oracles? What? Where? Just... Well, he's got moracles. Even moracles than foracles. Pentacles. Okay, stop. He can actually just win the game. Like, I think these are... No, the oracles just win the game. Where'd he get all these? He pulled them out of his hat. I was like, uh-huh. What if I just kept building oracles and you didn't have any units? It's like, oh, well, this happens. Oh, there's a Viking. That will kill this in 3 years. He might kill 2 oracles. Oh, my God. Surprise! Looks like you should have had this revelation earlier. Okay, he's not dead. He's not dead. Though. He's super dead. Get him, Cuddlebear! The Terran dream! Everybody knows Terrans need to fight until the last building is lifted. He just built another oracle. It's like, no. I'm gonna build another one. There are Widow Mines, but they are not burrowed in the right locations. 4 more SCVs, adding to the 23 this game. The heart of a lion. But the forces of a much weaker lion. Maybe a crippled lion. Or a cardboard box. I don't know. Cuddlebear has a dream. But his dream might remain a meme. As long as the Widow Mines don't somehow simultaneously kill every single probe stacked up and all the oracles at once. If they don't do that, then it's going to be really hard for him. I mean... Come on, Cuddlebear, you got this! There are a series of Widow Mines. There's one. Okay. Another one. He tries to dodge it. There's another Widow Mine on the high ground. Being real cute about it. Almost double supply. Double supply. Another Widow Mine. They trickle in. He has Stim. He doesn't have any medevacs. Terran is dead. GG! Puck wins 3-1 with some decisive games. A 6 series. Puck getting progressively stronger and stronger. Okay. But Cuddlebear definitely showing potential. We will be seeing more of him, as of course we have 5 rounds in the North American Contender League for the Ultimate Series, but GG. Puck takes it 3-1. And thank you, guys, for watching. You can use the bracket command in the chat if you want to see the bracket as well. Let me refresh the standings in just a moment. And they have been updated. And I want to thank, in between here, we've got a few moments. We're just going right through the matches. Thank you to Ceridian for the sub, Vili Ninja, Quasi1, BMW786 for 2 months, Squawking 412, Daydreamer, Kiwi Cal, Isolated Entropy, and Mr. Lawman for those subs. And remember, if you're on a gift sub, like so many of you are after this crazy, especially last couple weeks, you've got about 6 hours until the end of September, which is where you can resub with the September command, and you can resub and get an additional month for just $1. You get more emotes, and subs to the best channel in my house, I get more money, and Amazon gets your payment information, which they probably already have, let's be honest. Just $1. So, yeah. Thank you, Recon Prism. Our next match will be, I believe, True versus Future. It's either True versus Future or Neeb versus... Wait, that's not the right one. Neeb versus Future, and then True versus Jardozer are the other two matches. I could probably just look it up. I am not a smart man. I was never accused of being one. So, in my defense. I really should have memorized it. Neeb versus True. Oh, this should be sick. Neeb versus True. There's actually a rematch of the Psystorm Cup Finals, and I'm sure other matches, where True actually beat Neeb 4-3 in an intense series of matches. I was actually casting from that event live. Everything but the finals. The finals were the Psystorm team. But now it's my turn. We're gonna see it again. True, the gotcha Zerg, and Neeb, the American hero. The best player in America. And then Scarlett versus... No. Jardozer versus Future is the next match after that. The final match of the day. Be right back. Just one more. I'll get some more water. These games have been too intense. Gotta stay hydrated. Very important.
Good. Now I have your attention.
Something sweet over the city to counter the bitter air. I will be listening for you. The chains were too hard to bear. I believe there's a place where I belong, and you do too. It's not far
Good. Now I have your attention.
if only you were true.
And thank you guys for sticking around. Thank you, Glass Viper, for 4 months. Roxall as well. I cannot come back this time. We worry True might be asleep. I said I'll take him. Because right now, I don't know if he's in Korea. I will stand in for True. Oh, True, wake up! I think True might be in Korea right now. But, because the season's ended. Oh, he's in! He's awake! We woke him up. Also, it's like 9 a.m. in Korea, so... So we might be with a fresh, off the bed True. Neeb said he's ready. Alright, we're ready to go. The first map will be Cerulean Fall, which is a fun name. I like that name. Kind of iffy on the map though. No. It's time. For another, like, honestly, I wasn't expecting that last match to be so intense. I know Cuddlebear's good, but he impressed me. Even though he lost, he still impressed me. Significantly. In the top right. The Korean player, but competing in the WCS circuit. He lives and competes in America. And has for the last few years one of the best Zerg players in the circuit. Definitely a very focused on timing attacks and decisive, well, sneaky plays a lot of the time. I won't lie. From Storm Gaming. And he's beaten Neeb before. Let's factor that in. It's True. And in the bottom left, it is the American Protoss from Tang. It's Neeb, the 3-time WCS champion. And known for almost the exact opposite general style of play as True. You'll every now and again he'll break out one of the more intense cheeses or timings, but a lot of the time it's like, well, how am I going to get my third? How am I going to get my Immortals and my Storm? A lot of really macro-based plays. Trying to figure out how he gets to that strong later game unit composition. True, going to figure out how to stop him from doing that. That's very likely going to be the case. We had a game yesterday where True just kept building Zerglings over and over and over and over against Future. I think in the span of about 12 minutes, he lost something like 420 Zerglings. And then lost the game, so that it didn't work out, but it was quite a spectacle. Alright. Looks like we're lining up game number 1 in the most textbook standard manner. Hatch, gas, pool, Zergling speed. True, not pulling off a gas. Important to note. You don't usually stay on gas unless you have a purpose for that, because you want to have the minerals to expand quicker, get a little bit more economy, more queens. Well, we'll see. There's something coming from that. On the other side, Neeb, he wrote the textbook, so he says you should buy it for class this semester. And I think it's worth it. Neeb with the Stargate. A lair. You cheeky devil! You sneaky boy. But Neeb, is he actually gonna, if he commits with the Adept, he does. He knows True. He knows True. Is he gonna scout with the Shade, is the question, or is he gonna try to get out? Like, if I was up against True, oh, he's gonna get in. Neeb, a little closer! A little! He sees the lair. So huge. And it looks like, oh, 2 Adepts now. The Wombo combo, 3 kills. 4 kills and sees the lair. I'd say that's a big victory for Neeb. Loses 2 Adepts, fine. Whatever. Oracle on the way. Hydra Den. I think this is true, kind of. I don't know what he would have... with true, you kind of just throw darts at a board. Alright? You just roll the die, and you're not entirely sure what it's going to land on, like mass lings, Hydra Den, Nidus, Spire... But in comes the scout from Neeb. That's a real Phoenix. Will he see the Hydra Den? He won't see the Hydra Den. He should be able to make another pass around the natural. Just the lack of a third. The Oracle's going to come in and see the Hydra Den. So, with 3 gates to follow this up... Oh, he's going double star. This is possibly the worst thing to be doing. I mean... Does he cancel it when he sees the Hydras? Oh, he's going to get a lot of damage with the Oracle. The Hydras aren't out yet. Or do you just mass Phoenixes? I mean, you've already committed this far. There are queens. How many queens does he have? 4 queens. At this point, I'd consider a Nidus. But nothing has gone like... Neeb! He's on 2 bases, you greedy devil! He's like, no, I can take a third. You killed like 15 workers! 9. Well, it felt like 15. He's not even... If Neeb tries to take a third, that might be one of the few ways he can actually take damage from this Hydra timing. All he needs to do is build a bunch of units. He already has 15 more workers! Charges on the way. Don't do it, Neeb. Don't do it. He can't help himself! No. Okay, he's making more gates. Alright. He knows. He's using his scouting information, which is always important. A sentry on the way. It was just a placeholder pylon. Oh, don't want to get baited out. Group spawns is done. Are the queens on the way? I'm disappointed, True. Where are the queens? 18 more ling. Oh, Neeb! Neeb! You know he has 2 bases! Oh my god. There's only 1 sentry. Can he actually... No, does he have enough Phoenixes? About to find out. Guardian shield underneath? Like... He doesn't have enough energy to kill all the Hydras, but... This is like the one thing that Neeb could have done. To not... You don't have enough energy! Drink a Red Bull! Is he sponsored by Red Bull? I'm not sure. Warpian Zealots. Charge is about to finish. It looks like the third's going down. Don't try to save it! Go! You know better than that, Neeb. Come on. He still has 47. You don't need a third! Good. All you need to do is live! Neeb's like, no. Let me get that third base, though. You don't need it! It's true! He's never making another drone this entire game. Like, Now, about that third base, though. Still, though, Neeb in a commanding position. He maintained a lot of the Phoenixes. He's got 8 now. I think he's still in a winning position. Yeah, True's got to go now. Got to bring the queen. Just bring the queens, too. What am I doing coaching this game? It feels like it now. I feel like a little I've never been accused of being unprofessional before. But how many Hydras? Ooh. 16. That's a lot of Hydras, but also a lot of charge slots with Guardian Shield. You can slice it at the back. I think Neeb's got this. Right? Right? Such weird fights, but Neeb has the economy that even though if he's trading at all, eventually he'll win the trades. So, True, his timing fully scouted, and while Neeb was incredibly greedy in shutting it down, he does shut it down eventually. Phoenix is one of the best and most cost-effective units, not only for Protoss, but in the game. Neeb takes game number 1. So, yeah, that's very stylistic of both those players. You got True just deciding, all right, screw it, we're going for a lair. And Neeb, I need this third base, and I don't care what happens, I'm gonna get it. Take me down. I cannot come back. All right. Game 2 will be on blue shift. And here we go. Back to the back to the action. True in the bottom left, Neeb in the top right. A decisive victory in the last match, but he did everything he could to make it look close. And True decides, you know what's fun? A 12 pool. He rolls the wheel of fortune, the strat roulette. I don't know if that was 12 or 13 or 14, but definitely early. Okay, it wasn't 14. I was looking at the numbers. He is going to expand. How much larva has been saved up here? If Neeb's able to block it, that's super annoying. The probe coming in. The probe not even going to try to block. 6 lings on the way. He's like, no, I'm scouting him. I am making sure. He sees 6 lings. So, Neeb is going to teach us all how to respond to exactly this. He knows there's no gas, so no big tech follow-up, no speed. There's going to be an expand. And he's kept the probe alive to see if there are more Zerglings on the way, to try to calculate a response. Interesting that he walls off like this. I guess that's maybe to funnel the lings a little. A second Zealot's on the way. He gets a lot of surface area on this. All right, let the games begin. Here we go. Some probes are coming down. The second Zealot coming up. He has gas. Will he start Warp Gate, or is he saving up for like a Twilight? Neeb just microing back. He doesn't want to lose any probes here. He can afford to lose a couple. Adept being chrono boosted out. Of course, True just kind of makes a random amount of lings. And that's enough lings to kill the Zealots. The probes have to come back down. They're like, okay, wait a second. This isn't what we signed up for. Builds another pylon. The Adept coming out should shut this down, but the pylon goes... No, cancel at the last second.
Good.
So, Neeb blocks it. Not that it was intended to kill. It's intended to throw most parts of the build off. Neeb actually... It was intentional, delaying Warp Gate. He's gonna get a Stargate as soon as possible. Classic Neeb. Like, no. I get a Stargate. It's PvZ. The Stargate happens. We're getting a Stargate. Like, even before the Nexus. Now where do we go? That's the question. True with... He is mining gas. Until he hits 100, he can't really be building anything with it. Besides like a baneling nest. I wouldn't put it past him. Like, second gas on the way, indicating he's probably going to go a little bit deeper than this. A couple of depths. There is no third. A Phoenix on the way. Well, he cancels and builds an oracle. Wait. I swear I just saw a phoenix like halfway done. He already has one, though. Oh, he drew the queens out and also drew the lings out. The slow lings. And scouts the lair and gets damage done with the adepts. Now, the slow lings are on creep, so they will be able to close the distance. Oops, bit of miss micro there. We lose both. Not so great for Neeb. But he scouted the lair. He got a few kills. The lair scout is big. That's the biggest part. He finishes the oracle, immediately transitioning into a robo and adding on a second oracle. I think this is admitting, like, well, acknowledging that there could be more Zerglings or ground units in general coming out. He has one gate. So if he doesn't build any more anti-ground, if True just made like 40 Zerglings, which True has been known to do, then he could potentially just break through the wall and kill him. But the Robo, though. And no Twilight. Is that an infestation pit? Roll the die! Well, actually, that doesn't. There's way more builds than you can fit on a die. Spin the wheel. The cheese wheel. Well, not really cheese, just the build wheel. You get the idea. Like a whole Price is Right kind of thing going on. It's like, oh, you won Swarm Host on 2 base. Congratulations. Pylons all over the edge of the base. He knows shenanigans may be afoot. This has to be just straight Swarm Host. He's gonna see the infestation pit. Probe's taking serious damage, burning him down. Ooh. Oh, might lose an oracle here. Takes it out. 10 kills, though. That definitely cuts into it. And he's scouted. Wait, is this for Colossi? He's not just gonna go Disruptor with 1 gate. This is definitely a unique match. Yeah. And I believe that was his response to the infestation pit. I'm not sure exactly when it started. I mean, they're quite good against Locusts if the Locusts are on the ground. He can just kite back. So, honestly, I don't mind this for True right now. Because he was able to get a third. Did Neeb scout that third? He did. Okay, he knows about it. But the Swarm... Gotta get that third. But the Swarm Hosts are gonna come out in significant numbers by the time Neeb has a force that's capable of a strong attack. So there's going to be multiple waves of Locusts to contend with. Sentries don't do much against Locusts. I mean, Guardian Shield can help, but they also die. And Locusts, they can fly, which is pretty cool. The Swarm Hosts are already on the way. Neeb trying to come out to meet them. You wanna have them pop off their Locusts as quick as possible. He does. He scares them. Nope. Gets a sentry. The rest flying over. We'll be cutting back. You can see how effective that Colossus is. But he's just kind of... Yeah. Alright. Shield battery helps out a lot. But he's just building. His entire army is Swarm Hosts. He's got 15 Swarm Hosts, 6 Slowlings, 7 Queens, and the rest is drones. So, is there a Templar Archives for Storm? No, he's just going to be battling it on the ground. Neeb at 51 probes. Now, if Swarm Hosts are even a little out of position or on cooldown, charge lots are going to be super dangerous. No, Neeb. They're like grasshoppers. Well, they're like locusts. I don't know. Gets another, well, they don't have charge, but that actually doesn't. Get them, boys! Mama, now! The queens come down. Another wave of locusts coming in, but the shield battery doing its job. These zealots are doing big damage. The queens are holding the line for now. True supply is going up, but that's slightly misleading because Swarm Hosts are really weird. They're really heavy on the supply, and there's next to no other army. But what is Neeb actually building that will fight? Like a real fight? I don't. Nope. Neeb. Like if he can draw out the swoops. This is such a weird. What's going on? What is that? The swarm host just getting all up in the mineral line. The locusts waiting for their moment, their time to shine. Their time is running out. There's nothing to kill the phoenix. I did 27 swarm hosts. He's just. Neeb's gonna try to go out, but like, he will swoop. There are 3 colossi, but if he gets close enough with the locust. Some zealots coming in. Like, the charge lots are good. There's not that much on the ground otherwise. 14 roaches, 7 queens. He's just kept some swarm hosts at home. Oh god, they do damage so fast! Everybody, okay? 1 foot in front of the other. Let's work it out. True has 27 swarm hosts, and Neeb is struggling to get more supply. I don't know about the colossi. Like, the colossi feel like a half measure against the swarm hosts. Because in order for them to be effective, the locusts have to be on the ground. And if there's nothing to make the locusts hit the deck. Roaches on the right side. He has +2 ranged attack, which does affect locusts and roaches and queens. Another warpin. These are charged lots. He's going for +2. He's got the +1 done. There are no swarm hosts here. He's bringing some back. He didn't leave them at home. So Neeb's starting to find some damage. We'll get another queen. Locust Neeb playing the waiting game here. And taking a 4th. He's got 60 probes against 52 drones. The prism was an important part of this. I love the choice for burrow move. Unfortunately, oh, I thought he wasn't getting burrow. I'm dumb. He's got burrow. He's getting burrow. Trying to make some progress here is Neeb. He's pushed the creep back just a bit. Finally, an Archon getting mixed in. For now. We'll get mixed right back out. The Locusts trying to make something of their short lives. Like, if he dives on a Colossus, he's gonna kill it. Oh, the force fields. It's a weird situation. Another wave! He's gotta step back. You gotta step back. Step back, sir! Might get 1 Colossus, no. Those are burrow move roaches. Is there detection? The robo targeted down. No more observers. He's gonna need oracles. Didn't he build a Stargate at some point? Ah, it's gone! It was at the front! That's not good. True is kind of, like, 14 probes now. He's chipping him down. Well, there is an observer here. Those things are annoying to dislodge. Wait, yeah, he does have roach speed. He's gonna... I'm out of here. But the swarm hosts are still alive. He still has 27 swarm hosts. This is still a serious problem. There's some roaches here. Roaches here, the shark roaches. True doesn't, like, he doesn't have a bank. Oh, because he just made 20 mutas. That, okay, well, he killed the Stargate. There's like 1 Archon, and he still has, well, there's 1 less Archon now. Oh, got him. But all the locusts are down for a few more seconds. But the mutas are here. He has to fight. Like, you gotta fight, Neeb. Oh, but if he loses too many stalkers, then the mutas just win. It's... Neeb could not keep up with those tag switches. He was getting whiplash. It's like, we're going no units into swarm hosts, but then burn move roaches, and surprise, mutas on... It didn't feel like the Colossi were the choice against the swarm host. Like, Colossi, a good addition, but it seems like Storm probably would have been the direction. Because you need to find a way to fight eventually. Like, even if you can counter the Locusts, the attack potential isn't there. So, True definitely pulling one over there. It seems he just understood how to handle that a lot better than Neeb. Neeb caught off guard. It definitely looked like he didn't know what he wanted to do. Well, he wanted to go Colossi, but I think starting to realize that's maybe not the right choice. Alright, so we're going to game 3 on Fracture. One of these players will be going up a game after this. Unless we get a draw, which I think I've only seen maybe 2 draws ever, not involving Terran. It's very hard to have a draw without a Terran. Alright, here we go, game number 3. of the Ultimate Series Round 2. We've got one more match after this one today. Best of 5s throughout. Definitely a longer day than all the 3-0s yesterday, as the players start to fight each other out. We'll see if True can do that again. That's what True is so good at. Neeb is definitely a player who wants to step 1, step 2, step 3. This is the way we're doing it. And if it gets thrown off, sometimes he never gets back into line. Whereas True, sometimes, honestly, sometimes it does feel like he is just spinning a wheel. It's like 2 base swarm host. All right, here we go. Let's see what the wheel lands on this game. I think in any standard game where Neeb is able to just get, like, if True just plays standard where you get 3 bases, maybe some queens, a handful of lings early to defend adepts, block the oracles, and then go either into roaches or hydras, Neeb's heavy favorite. Like, Neeb's macro is unparalleled. The reason his biggest weakness is just handling timings and cheese a lot of the time. In True, that's his speciality. So. This is a map with more choke points. A lot easier to wall off. You don't usually see early pools on maps like this. And we don't see one here. It's going to be a hatch first. Will he stick with the Stargate? I mean, it's Neeb, so if Neeb doesn't build a Stargate anymore, that's like Bob Ross. Bob Ross without the fro. Okay? But with that in mind, his Cybercore is done. He is not building a Warp Gate. Or, oh, he is getting Warp Gate. Oh my god. So, yeah, there we go. That exact scenario was happening. Is this going to be a Twilight? Because he didn't get a second gas as early. And he's getting Warp Gate. So, Twilight or Robo. Maybe Archon drop opener? I'd like to see like a 4DT into Archon drop. Yeah, there's a Robo. No, I'm doing a Disruptor drop. It's like, what the hell? I don't... This isn't post-patch, Neeb. Neeb gets in, sees there's no lair with the shade. And will he be out on the Twilight? It's got to happen kind of soon when he gets another 100 gas. He's getting the Stalker to block vision, which is a bit of a giveaway in and of itself. Neeb connects the 2 adepts. That's going to do a lot of damage. Where are True's lings? He just keeps taking damage to this. Like, the adepts just keep getting in. He's going to kill more. All right. So he's just going to kind of kill 6 drones with 2 adepts. Like, well, that's bad. All right. Immortal Sentry. What year is this? I don't know. Well, we saw this last night. A classic tactic. Wait, was it SOS that used it? One of those Protoss in the PvZ going with the all-out. And this map is actually kind of laid out. The third base is laid out kind of similar to Blue Shift. You can choke it off with force fields if you get into position. Especially right there. Oh my god, is this a Soul Train? He's not adding any... No, it's not. This is just a brute force attack. He's barely mining gas. Maybe enough for 2 sentries. Maybe 3. At the... Oh god! What is... No, I think this is amazing for me. So, True is going for a Nidus all-in. Into Neeb's heavy brute force 2 base robo attack. Neeb should crush this. Now, a lot can go sideways here. Neeb, don't take a... Okay, he's not... There's no going home. Alright, he's hard-walled off the base. He's bringing a couple stalkers with him. Well, this could get very, very weird. Neeb sees this. You just crush it, right? Like, he can warp in. Just crush it. Neeb sees it. Oh, he recall. Yeah, crush. Neeb smack. Oh, he recalls to the Nat. Oh. Oh, no. Oh, no, Neeb. Neeb, there's a Nidus. I'm not biased at all, guys. The Nidus comes out. Right, he should still have enough units. Like, just one warp in. Neeb's not supply block. He's got a warp prism for micro. The Cybercore lives. He can warp into depths. Probes are pulled. He doesn't have that much money. I'm wondering where the warp-ins are. Now, if he loses too many, everybody back inside. Back inside. Oh, he's making more lings. Of course he is. I mean, this is not this Nidus build is not something you macro out of, okay? Neeb, like... I mean, the lings just keep coming out, so... Neeb is slowly pushing this back. The first cyber core was taken out, but the backup core is online. And now he has a bunch of warp gates. Well, get that pylon out of here. Get it out of my sight. Is that still... No. So Neeb in great position. There's only lings. It was queens and lings. That was a hardcore all-out Nidus. Not even a roach one. Which directly countered by Neeb's choice of build. Having that many units with a Robo Prism that early, and the only thing he could have done better is like just shut it down before it started. But it's almost better he didn't, because he killed so many lings. I think Neeb just walks across and kills him now, because this is what we call a build order loss. There is no chance of true breaking. And when you commit, like when you gamble that hard, then you stand the risk of losing everything. And Neeb picks the right build. Nicely done. A quick conclusion, and Neeb is up 2-1 on match point. All right. Acid plant could be the decider. Game number 4. This is a stable Protoss map, but it falls into the standard, more standard category, where there's a wide variety of builds to be used. Like, there's no ramp up to the net, which makes early ground pushes, things like Baneling Bust, a little bit more effective. But we'll see. What does True have in his bag of tricks? He's got to pull out his best. Here we go. Let's get started. Or maybe end it. Game 4, Neeb versus True. The Starladder Ultimate Series. The top 4 from the region will go on to compete in the playoffs in just a couple weeks. All North America, and the playoffs will be covered here, if you're so inclined to watch. But we've got several more rounds to determine who is truly the best in North America. And then the playoffs will have everyone competing against one another from all 3 regions, including Serral, to find out who wins the biggest cut of those $7,000 plus. The next rounds will be next weekend. October 6th and 7th will be the final rounds, and then the final match will also be on the 7th as well. So we're going to conclude determining the best next weekend, and then the weekend after that are the playoffs, which is a 2-day event as well. 6 p.m. Eastern Time, 3 p.m. Pacific next weekend, and then the playoffs start a little earlier than that. So I'm gonna have fun adapting to that schedule. True has built a pool after building a hatchery. Important to point out. Neeb, of course, has gateway expanded. And he actually scouted quite late. He's not expecting any shenanigans on this map. I'd love to see a proxy hatch or something. But we're not going to see it this game. I'm feeling like this game's going to be really good. I don't know, I've got that feeling. Which, at least half the time is wrong. Then again, I felt like the Cuddlebear Puck series was kind of going to be one-sided, and it was not in any way. It was one of the best series. Yeah, both players made mistakes, but sometimes that's what makes it the most fun. I think I'll probably upload to YouTube for those of you who can't tune in live to the most amazing casting that I've ever done today. Like the whole day, and then maybe I'll pick out some of the highlight games for specific videos and stuff. Possibly do some like breakdown videos and stuff.
Good. Now
But thank you guys for being here. And thank you to Starladder and Blizzard for giving me the chance to cast. I say filling all this slow time when it appears True is doing a normal build for the first time this series. And Neeb is, well, he's Neeb. So. This time True will only lose one drain to an adept. Only a single adept. Well, he has two more to combine with the Oracle, potentially. Now, Neeb has not added on the gases at his net. If he doesn't until the 4-minute mark, well, we should see a Twilight or a second Stargate. The tech should be right now. Whatever he's doing, it should be right now. He's got a second Oracle already queued up. Oh, he went for a second Oracle. Is he just gonna keep making... Is this the Moracles build? Where you just keep making Oracle? It's going out of style a little bit. And True is a big fan. I don't know... True loves building queens. He's the king of queens. In any macro scenario, he'll end up, even against, well, especially against Protoss, he builds almost more queens than anyone I've seen. He's going to have like 5. No, he already has 5. He's going to 7. Like, this seems like the one player this is not a great choice against. But I'm questioning Neeb, which I'll stop now. Yeah, he hates spore crawlers. He actually hates spore crawlers. If you ask him, he just doesn't... He's like, well, you kill a drone. So instead of building spore crawlers, which cost 75 minerals, he's like, well, I'll just build more queens. They shoot up. Can't dispute that. That's a lot of adepts. True, where are your units? True has no units, but queens. Uh-oh. Well, Neeb made a bunch of adepts. So, you know, remember when I said this is going to be a sick game? That's a lot of adepts. He's throwing mad shade. They don't have glaives. That isn't much consolation to the drones being called to fight. Actually, the oracles are done. Okay. This was not as bad as it could have been because they didn't have glaives. Of course, you can't make that many oracles and a Twilight and get glaives and get a third. It was still really bad. You don't want to lose 15 drones before you have any... Well, yeah, he can't cancel the third. Does he have +1? He has +1 melee, so there's potential there. And Oracle went down with this. But that was really bad. I was like, you shouldn't do... You shouldn't build oracles against True because he has too many queens. Well, when he builds so many queens, he doesn't build zerglings, it seems. Will he dive on that third? That's such a gamble. I don't... He's got lings, like... I don't think True's gonna make another drone this game. As is customary. There are only two queens left, and there are no spores. He's built another oracle. Neeb is gonna eviscerate his economy. Oh my god. The lings. They're on hold position. He will get away. Oh. That's a lot of zerglings. He's got 65 zerglings on the map. The oracles have used all their energy. Neeb. He doesn't... Does he have the gas for an Archon? An Archon would be so huge here. The Baneling Nest about to finish. True's putting it all on the table here. The Banelings will be scouted. There's no Archon. There is a backstop. He's going to start trying to work through the wall. Those are +1 lings. They're ripping it down very quick. Does he have a recall? He has a recall potentially into the main. There are more sentries being warped in. That's spending Neeb's gas. He's just going through. The Cyber Core falls. The Baneling's trying to slip through. More force fields. It's a stopgap. He's ripping down the wall. True streaming through. Gateway's falling, but True needs to do more than this. He needs to go all the way into Neeb's base. He needs to kill probes. Into the main. The probes are splitting. Neeb is up 20 workers right now. Like, this has to be devastating. 8 probes so far. That's not enough. The lings continue to trickle through. 22 more lings. The reinforcements are cut off. There's nothing at the third. The oracle's out of energy. He used a lot of them. The lings on the runaround. He's killing more and more probes. The warpin's coming up, but he already has charge done. He's able to cut through them. He's trapped them inside the warpins. True. He killed 15 probes. Is that enough? I don't think so. There's still immortals. He didn't kill the army. Neeb's army. 62 versus 27 army supply. Look at the supply. And there are still oracles. He can kill the queen. Does he have enough energy? Yeah, he does. Queen not even able to get the herd oracle. He's making more, but like... Neeb's army composite. He still look at... That's enough. That's plenty. As long as he's able to rebuild the walls and hold them, and zerglings don't come streaming through every base at once. Da-na, 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 da-na. Neeb with the last... True with the last desperate attack. Neeb with... These Baneling connections. I don't know if there's any Banelings in the world. Oh my god. Neeb picks up, and Neeb holds the line, and Neeb will be winning 3-1 in round 2. Takes it home. A dominant victory. True. Ow. Fuck. I just need... I need my desk. I was so excited. I hurt myself in my own excitement. Neeb moves on 2-0, joining the class of the undefeated, alongside Masa. GG. Oh, that's the wrong button. That leaves us one last match today. After the next match, I will be restarting the stream without delay so you guys can watch much worse gameplay. Thank you guys for tuning in. Let me refresh the standings. And thank you. Kush 1988, Panzerführer, Valhalla SC, Another Engineer, Mooseman OMG, SGMGR for those subs. Welcome back. And remember, if you have a gift sub, as so many do, you have just about 6 hours to resub potentially for $1 the end of September, and that will be another month after the month you were gifted. So, a single $1. I get full revenue. You get a resub, and you'll be able to send a message and a notification, all that on that point. And Amazon gets your payment info. So, everybody wins. Jardozer versus Future. Coming up. These players... Well, actually, I think... Did Future... No, Future lost against True 3-2 yesterday. Jardozer lost against Neeb 3-0, including a proxy 4 game. It was a dunk. But they're a bit more evenly matched for each other. We'll be starting in just a moment. Now stay hydrated.
Take a deeper breath and give it time. You can walk the path among the lines.
I'm just zoning out. With the delayed chat.
Come find me and we will play.
But the Ultimate Series will continue next week, Saturday and Sunday, at 6 p.m. Eastern, 3 p.m. Pacific, and midnight for you in the beautiful country of Europe. And the playoffs will be the weekend after that. If you want to watch the European coverage, Wardy, I believe it's all done for this week, but for Europe, starts at next weekend, same time, same days. 8 p.m. European time. So, just before this. Now, hopefully you enjoy the cast. You can, of course, find more on YouTube, and a lot of this will be uploaded to YouTube if you can't catch it all live. My VODs are not behind a paywall if you want to watch those for some reason. Looks like we're about ready to go. Future and Jardozer. Future, definitely someone to watch out for. Jardozer, better known as the Winter Slayer. That's mean to pin that on him. But he did beat me in the WCS qualifiers for the last season. And he is the reason I did not qualify. It was like in the second round. So there's a while to go past that. But... Alright, let's get started. The final series of the day. Whoever ends up losing this series is going to be in a tough position to actually win out. Like, they're going to have a really... well, if you lose this series, it's 0-2, which is going to put you... well, you don't have much time to make that up. Let me introduce you to, in the top left, the top Grandmaster player from Infinity Gaming, the American Zerg, Jardozer. And the bottom right, from Rise Esports, with a Bright himself, the American Terran Future. Terran versus Zerg, and kicking it off on the most, I guess the most standard of maps. Everybody kind of agree. Like, nobody vetoes Acid Plant when there's, like Dreamcatcher and Fracture and maps like that in the pool. At least not in the best of 5. Looks like we're starting off with the textbook. Reaper Expand. Was that a gas first? I think so. He's going to have 100 gas right as the Rax finishes. On the other side, hatch gas pool. This Overlord being, scouting out for proxy Rex, and then it will be sent to the main. The important time to scout for the main base is between the 3 and 4 minute mark against a Terran who's expanded. Same against Protoss. That's usually when players will commit to their tech and you'll get valuable information. Do they have multiple Rex, multiple factories, tech lab, starport? Is there anything like a third command center? Things like that are important, but there's not too much reason to scout before that because you just can't get to that tech. And proxy racks are very dangerous, as we've seen in multiple GSL finals. Third base coming up, the SCV scout, but also sometimes you'll see players try to block the third. Reaper gets in. Is he really going to go that deep? This is, like, that's needlessly risky. Why would you... I don't approve of that move. I don't... What is this, a starport? So, pretty standard here. Hellions going to have a starport. The question will be, how much is he going to invest in the starport? Is it just going to be a Viking? In fact, during this entire tournament, we've been pretty light on the Vikings. There's been a lot of like early drop play, Liberators, a lot of Cloak Banshee. I don't even think we've seen a singular like Viking opener. The standard build. It appears Terrans have kind of moved off that. But as I say it, Future. Yeah, there you go. Future, one of the Terrans I'm talking about. He played TVC yesterday, so he's getting a medevac. He's a young Terran player. He's 16 years old. So, young Terran players have a very... they very much have a tendency to go incredibly micro-oriented, as you saw with that first Reaper. Sometimes to the detriment of later gameplay, but we know Future can play the later game if you watched any of the series yesterday. An armory. A Hellbat push. Wait, did he... He doesn't even care if the Overlord spots the medevac. He doesn't care. Just the existence is dangerous. This is a committed push. Will he actually go for mech behind this? He hasn't slapped a tech lab on the barracks to start researching stim. He hasn't made a third command center. Yeah, Future, a very aggressive Terran player. This is a very micro-oriented style. He'll get the Hellions into the main. Jardozer brings the Ling back in time. The wraparound coming up, a Future slips up into the medevac. How does that happen? Nobody knows. Don't think about the physics. Cyclone's on the way. This will be mech. He just throws down 4 barracks. Like, well, I don't know what I'm talking about anymore. Third command center behind. These are units that put on a ton of pressure. He's able to have map control when he has a medevac, a Liberator, Cyclones, Hellions, Hellbats. Jardozer has invested in a lot of drones, 49. We'll see how many survive the next couple minutes. But that means he doesn't have any aggressive potential. This is the first time the Cyclones are revealed. The Liberator coming in. The Queen already in position to take some pot shots. It's going to take a few more to take it down. Everything joining up for the frontal push here. Uh-oh. There's only 6 Queens and 10 Lings. The Hellbats are a surprise. And the Liberator CG up at the back. Jardozer not ready for this push. The Liberator going to work on the drones, being cut down. Future still building SCVs at the back. It's not like this is all in by any means. He's got a third command center on the way. A very dangerous push. He did finish a Baneling nest. He does have Banelings, but how many will be able to connect? Down goes the medevac. You got to be careful. You don't want to explode all over the Cyclones. He wants to hit the Hellbats for that extra damage. The Queens will give their lives for the Swarm, and so will the Banelings. Another Liberator comes up. Or maybe that's the first one. I don't know. The Liberator going to work on the net! And freedom reigns from 2 bases. The Hellbats survive in the Circle of Liberty. 19 drones and counting. This build, well executed and well planned. The queen count at 2. Jardozer got too greedy in future. Okay, that liberator will go down, but where's the transition? There is a lair. He has no upgrades. Future has 53 SCVs. Got him. There's the counterplay. Hellbat's splitting off. He will eat the Banes. Beautiful splits. Liberator still here. Hellbat's still here. I don't know how much longer Jardozer is going to go without typing any G's. This is a massacre. Even the larva is not safe. I guess there's... Now this is hilarious. There's no anti-air to kill the Overlord. A Thor has to be built before he can take his third. Oh my god. Stop. Stop it, Future. He's already... Well, he's not dead, but... Jardozer, he lost so many queens, he's actually banking money because he can't spend his larva even though he lost so many drones. He's not dead, but there's 4 queens. Some badly. Oh my, blue flame is done. +1 is done. He dunks the Thors, dropping the hammer. The Hellbat's coming in. He's pounding through roaches. He's coming for the hot pickup. Will he save it? Of course. Will he pick it up? He does. Brings it back down. Picks it up again. The Thor survives. He brings another medevac in for the save. What a save! Okay. I think I can comfortably say we should see GG any second. No, stop it! Stop it. He's already dead. The juggling. Oh, he loses one. He saved the other. More Hellions coming in. Future won't stop.
Good. Now I have your attention.
Jeez. Don't you dare drop that down. Don't you dare. Of course he does. A dangerous game. Now it's just a battle to see how many kills the Thor will get. Trying to target down the medevac. A tank comes up. The Thor survives. The medevac. The Thor. The medevac. But the Thor. The queen. Oh, come on. Drop a mule and repair it. Oh, it lit. Well, that was, he slapped him around, and then he put him down. That, well, you guys were watching. Oh my god. Alright, Jardozer, what do you got? He's got to bring something to the table. That does not look promising. Just getting everybody invited to the game. We're going into game 2. I mean, there's not... Future Well executed, well planned. Okay, that's enough of that. Here we go. Alt tab. Professional. Future looking incredibly strong in game 1. What do you do? Nope, that's not game 1. What do you do now? I don't know. I don't have an answer for that question. Like, that seemed like a decisive... Jardozer got greedy. He did get greedy. He kept just making drones. He's like, oh, you got a third command center? I can make drones. No. I don't... What, do you take a gold or something first? It doesn't look like he's going to. Maybe he was just a little off that game. Maybe... Maybe he pulls it back on Dreamcatcher. And this is a map where decisive timings are common and deadly. Tank pushes on the opposite side of the cliff where it becomes very difficult to engage. If you're not able to crush it before it takes hold, many games have been lost for that reason.
Now I have your attention.
It's going to be a classic standard opener. Textbook. Reaper, Expand, and Hatch Gas Pool. Openers that have some ability to defend really early pressure, but mostly are focused on getting economy and just those basic units you need for scouting and minor defense. I'm trying to think of what you do different. I mean, you make less drones, you make more units, but that... I guess you can summarize a lot of StarCraft in those terms. Like, well, if he had just made more units instead of less units, then he would have been better off. It's like, oh, thank you. Thank you. There's $100 for your coaching. Some fancy Reaper micro. Okay, this is just needlessly fancy. If he loses the Reaper, like... What are you doing? Future! Why? Why he's gonna lose the Reaper? I don't get it! Wait, is he? Oh no. Oh my god. Well, here we go. Oh my god. Oh! Now he's gonna... Of course he's gonna go for drone. He's not like, I'm gonna get out. No, I'm gonna go for drone. Silly lings. Jardozer starts his speed. He was distracted by the Reaper. It worked. Like, the speed is late. Oh my god. Get out. Go away. Another grenade. Oh, misses the queen. Oh, stop. Okay. Finally. Jesus. But speed, a little bit late. Jardozer. That first Reaper can be tilting. I know from... way too much experience. Players like that, it's like, why? Do you need to do this? You're gonna lose it. The Overlord coming in, 2 Marines ready. But, how much vision will he end up getting? Oh, it's gonna look like a 2-1-1. It's not a 2-1-1. He sold it perfectly. The Overlord got just enough vision to see the first barracks with a reactor and 2 Marines. He didn't see the Widow Mines. He didn't see the factory. He has no idea those are here. This is a quick pressure drop. So, I mean, he might have enough to just straight defend it. I don't know. But I'm not entirely sure. I think this was scouted. I think the Overlord saw it. So, but otherwise, like the information, if he didn't see it with that Overlord, the information he saw points directly towards a later stim Marine medevac drop, but thankfully the Overlord in position. Always important. Oh, future. Oh, and a Cyclone. That Cyclone is not going home. So this works out for Jardozer. A little sloppy there. I mean, this drop, like, this is supposed to be super safe, is what it is. Like, you maybe don't do much damage, but there's not that much risk. But he lost the Cyclone, and there's still danger for the medevac, right? A third base on the way for Future. He still has what he needs to be able to power up. Jardozer not nearly as greedy with the drones this time, making sure he has the... Oh, no, 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 no! $17, for those asking. 17. And that's enough for Jardozer to be like, well, that base isn't happening. That's a lot of Hellions and Hellbats. There is not a Baneling Nest. And once again, the Hellbat time is going to be coming in. There's a Cloak Banshee. He has no detection. And a medevac. And the medevac has like 3 HP. Which is enough. Oh god. Oh my. Oh. Me oh my. Future just rolling through. Avenging that one Cyclone.
Game paused.
He GG'd. He taps it out. Future up 2-1. Well. I didn't know you were allowed to show murder on Twitch. I'm still not sure. Okay, Jardozer wants to specify. He wants to specify the way he holds his keyboard and his hotkey setup means he accidentally hit pause, okay? He's saying the pause was not supposed to be BM at the end of the game. It wasn't like anything. It was 100% an accident. I believe him. He's a chill guy. All right, just before Twitch chat just rolls with that, Jardozer the BM Zerg who gets roasted. He's gotten roasted enough by Future, okay? Accidental. And here we go, what could potentially be the end of a very quick series. We're going into blue shift. What do you got, Jardozer? Drone rush him. Okay, don't do that. Right now. That's the number. In the top right. Oh, I was angry. Representing Rise Esports, the young American Terran player. It's Future. In the bottom left, Infinity Gaming's Jardozer has a tough road ahead of him. Can he bring it back? Future is, well, I mean, Future's right on the edge of WCS, guys. I think he has some WCS points this season. I think next year will be a breakout year if he's able to practice. Obviously, at 16, you still got a lot of school, and I won't talk, but you still got a lot of other distractions. But if you can focus and maybe get a little bit of criticism, like, I think we're looking at another solid foreign Terran player if Future's able to just refine a little bit more. That's what we saw against True, was just sometimes getting caught off guard, off balance. and not really a big focus on aggressive play when being more defensive might help. Like a lot of 2-base play. So we'll see. But he's got to bright himself for sure. Jardozer is a player who, I mean, he's been in Grandmaster for a while, but he's recently focused a lot more. He's over 6,000 MMR, which is like top 30 on North America, which is his personal best, I believe. And he was able to qualify through the Amateur Series, the Grandmaster division. Obviously, there's still a little bit of a skill gap here, but he's improving, so we'll see where he goes as well. Don't let future ruin all of the hype. A 2-1-1 coming up from future. This one's a mainstay, a Terran staple. Really, only players of this caliber and of this mindset, like really micro-oriented players, love the 2-1-1 because they're such active units on the map that can potentially do so much damage. Obviously, Hellions and Banshees. There's so many active Terran units, but the 2-1-1. Is the classic choice. A default build, especially if you're up 2-0, like, why not throw it in there? You might just win with 16 Marines and 2 medevacs. Who knows? Future does not lose his Reaper this game. Yet. He's gonna jump in with 1 HP. I got this. 3 HP, I'm sorry. Stim on the way. This is a solid execution. He's going to have around 16 Marines, 2 medevacs, and Stim, and ideally be near on the other side of the map at around the 5-minute mark. This should be scouted by an Overlord from Jardozer. Why is it still here? It's going to die. The Overlord's gonna come in. How much of a scout will it get? Jardozer's building 2 more. 1 to replace it and 1 to further his supply. Now he will see the starport timing, the factory. This is a lot more information. This, he knows it's a 2-1-1. He's gonna add on. He's gonna add on the Baneling Nest. He's only at 31 drones. He needs to sneak out a few more. Well, more finishing up. 35 to 40 is your safe number. If you get more than that, you got to be very confident in the defense. Stop it. Stop it with the damn Reaper. Stop it. Stop. Go. Die. Okay, thank you. The double medevac drop coming up, boosting across. Jardozer needs... He's made too many drones. He has made too many drones. There's a very real chance he dies to this. I think he realized it was a 2-1-1. How many queens are there? 6? Only a handful of X. He has made too many drones. Oh, no. This is a sharp timing here, hitting it just over 5 minutes. If he can hold... Like, at this point, you need the damage on the Marines. If he can hold with 48 drones, that's great. But... Oh, well... He's holding for now. He's making more drones. That's so greedy! He didn't go for an upgrade, so I guess that's part of it. Future playing it safe. Okay, I guess I don't know what I'm talking about. That's not news to anyone. Wait, what is this? A transition into Hellbats? A new flavor of follow-up here. This is a 2-1-1 with a different aftertaste, okay? Tastes burnt. Hellbat follow-up from the original 2-1-1, no third. Another aggressive 2-base. Jardozer needs Banelings. He has Banelings. Liberator coming in for the kicker. Always important to have that. That's almost required for Terran at this level. He can drop the Hellbats on the Banelings, sacrifice them, making the Hellbats Banelings in and of themselves. That's what I think the plan is here. Or on the Queens or something. The Liberator going to work. directly on the mineral line, bringing the queens out of position. Big Zerling counterattack. The way is shut, and the Terran keep it. I do like that line. I'm gonna keep using it. Oh, it's beautiful and terrible, and he stims through. Where are the Banelings? They're gone, and so is Jardozer. There's not nearly enough lings, right? Are there? Liberators are going to work. He can pick up right there. He does. Liberators have done so much damage. He's killing drones still. He can get under the liberation zone. There's a single Bane. Will he target it? He doesn't. The Baneling gets close enough. I spoke too soon. Or did I? Another queen. Disgusting. There's not... Well, I mean, he lives. There's not even a lair. He's gonna have +1 carapace. Banelings... Well, here's an important fact. When Banelings attack, they die. Okay? So... Even when the Banelings kill an army, you've lost units. The trades are just gonna get better and better. There is no lair. There's no Baneling speed coming up. Future's going for +2. Beautiful target. Maybe a little bit overstayed his welcome a bit there. Like, +1 carapace helps out a lot with the surround. Okay, maybe I definitely spoke too soon. I really thought Future was gonna carry through. But Jardozer, I mean, there is +2 attack. Does he even have armor? He doesn't need armor when he has micro. That's kind of true. Now the creep has been pushed back, but the +1 carapace helps out a lot. The Banelings pushing through, looking for that opportunity. The targeting. Jardozer are still forced to make lings. He's even on drones, effectively even on upgrades. Oh, not another one. The Liberator in the main pushes the queens away, kills 4 drones. Oh, no, it lived. Kill it. He got it. Most annoying thing in the world. Besides Reapers and Marines and drops and Hellbats and Widow Mines, Liberators are next. Actually, I think Liberators are like 2nd or 3rd on there. Depending on who you ask. I mean, the more angle for the Marines to get the target fire, the easier it is for Future. Jardozer has the 3rd. We're battling for it. Future does not have a 3rd base. Oh no, he lost his medevac there. He's stepping onto the creep. The Hellbat body blocks. Do we see a split? He's trading out Marines. He's off creep. Jardozer dipping in supply. +2 attack about to finish, but there are no Banelings left. He micros. He target fires. But the Marines have no HP and will die anyways. Where are the medevacs? Another medevac coming up. They're trickling out one at a time. Future... this is such a weird scenario. 34 Zerglings on the way. No Banelings, though. +2 attack about to complete, but it's not done quite yet. The Hellbat's being microed back. The trades are real. +2 attack is done. He needs the Banelings. The transfuse at the last second. Going for the medevac. He gets it. Important trade. Banelings coming in. Future rallies across, but Jardozer answers. Baneling speed, a very important upgrade. 1/3 of the way done. That +2 attack means the Marines are going to shoot a lot harder, but the armor means they die just the same. Really? +3 attack? He's lifting his main. We've got a game, ladies and gentlemen. Now, the thing is, Jardozer's stabilizing. The upgrades, well, without medevacs, you can't really capitalize. Without medevacs, the Marines are going to eventually die to their own habit. And I'm talking about Stimpack. So, and with Baneling speed and even a little bit of creep spread, Jardozer, got to be careful not to get too greedy. And by that I mean take any damage from Hellions. Oh, wait, just one. That +1 carapace saving him there. Somehow no drones yet. 3, 4. And the kicker. 7 drones. As soon as the pressure at the front lets up, the sides start to look very vulnerable. How many queens are there? There are 3 queens. They're bruised. They can't take much freedom. There are no spore crawlers, right? Nope. It has to be the queens. He does have vision, thankfully, the high ground. A single transfuse there. Oh, he targeted down drones. He's up to 10. 58 drones. If Jardozer can survive this next attack, Future isn't making SCVs, he's on 2 orbitals. If Jardozer can survive the next couple minutes without taking damage, he's in a good spot. Oh, you gotta be careful. Can't lose too many lings right now. He's gonna lose a lot of lings. That's a lot of lings. He's lost 231 this game. Right now, there are 56 on the field. Intense game. Future is still in a okay position. Really, if you're Jardozer, you just make main links. He doesn't know for sure that's the main base command center. Oh, this counterattack. Jardozer just needs... Oh, my God. When there are more Marines than lings. Well, I guess if you count the main lings in. Just get... Oh, 2 tanks in that nasty position on the low ground. He's got Bane speed done. +1 melee attack about to finish. The counterattack is coming in, and the Banelings are rolling simultaneously. The boys! Oh, he doesn't quite nail the connection. He kills 9. But he's still on the chase. The attack is coming forward. The 4th base has been abandoned. Jardozer got to be careful about this engagement angle. He wants to kill these Marines. They're going to stim back. There's not too many medevacs on the other side. Oh, there are now. They're coming for the save, but they won't find the pickup. The tanks continue to shell. +3 infantry weapons about to complete. Still a lot of Marines here for Future. Oh my God. The tank hits devastating. He just needs to hold 38 more lings. I'd say give up the 4th. Give up a base. Save the game. He's going. The Banelings continue forward. How many Banelings left? Only 12. If the Banelings are gone, so is Jardozer. Where's he building those other 10? He's building them near the main. He's holding the line for now, but the army supply in favor of the Terran. Still splitting off some units. 3 tanks. Still that nasty position. Going somewhat for a counterattack to the north. But be so careful here. 105 supply. The pickups are there. You might want to re-siege that tank. The counterattack. This will force potentially an all-in. The Baneling nest is under fire, but the counterattack is undeflected. It's wide open base. More SCVs are going down. A handful of reinforcements are there. The pickups. He got the Bane nest. He has to rebuild. There are no more Banelings for another, well, several seconds. I think he already started rebuilding that. The tank is in range to shell on the high ground. The pickups gets out free. 16 SCVs went down. Future down to 18. He's still got a couple mules to work with. He's going to the high ground. He has to make some progress with the tanks. Jardozer holding. He's got +2 carapace. It's 1-2 against just +3. It's all attack and very little defense. The tanks coming in. Jardozer trying to close the distance. He'll get one of the tanks. More Marines on the backside. But the trades are good. He still has a lot of medevacs. And those are +3 Marines. The Baneling nest, the secondary Baneling nest completes. The Marines... dangerously close. The friendly fire comes in. Future has one last gasp coming across the map. More Banelings coming through. Jardozer, his 3rd base is exposed, and the drones are under fire. Coming for the save, but he can get the pickups. Big tank shots coming through. 90 to 76. Banelings rolling through. He doesn't want to go straight into the tanks, but that's exactly what he's doing. On the backside, the tank's doing friendly fire damage. He kills 1. What does Jardozer have left? Future pushes through. Terran all the way across the map. 18 SCVs left over. But it was enough. And a 3-0. Jardozer tries to hold on. Good counterattacks, but couldn't dislodge Future from that position. All about the attack, the pressure. Lays it on. And Future will go 1-1 in matches so far. 3-0 against Jardozer. Lost 2-3 against True. But never give up. Never surrender when you have mules. All right, let's summarize the day. Starladder Ultimate Series. Round 2 is complete. Let's refresh the standings. See where we're at. Remember, the top 4 qualify. We've still got a couple more days next weekend. But Neeb, 2-0. Oh, actually, we got... that will complete 2... well, he's got 2 wins. 3-1 against True, and a 3-0 against Jardozer. Masa actually completing 2 wins with a win over Cuddlebear. I believe it was 3-0, and then 3-1 over Scarlet. Scarlett dropping games to Masa. Gonna put her at 1-1. She was able to beat Puck yesterday. Puck. What happened today? I'm zoning out. Oh, Puck with some amazing games against Cuddlebear. Won 3-1, but a lot closer than the scoreline looked. He lost against Scarlet 3-0 in the last match. Future now going to be at 1-1, including a 3-1 or 3-0 over Jardozer and losing 2-3 to True. 3-2 against Future. And losing 1-3 to Neeb. I feel like I'm just describing both sides, backwards and forwards. And Jardozer, 0-3, unfortunately. Cuddlebear, with a 1-3 and then 0-3 against Massa. So they have a lot of ground to make up, but especially Cuddlebear, some great games. Jardozer showing some life at the very end. But that's it for me for the Starladder Ultimate Series here on Sunday. Join me next weekend for the continuation of the final. Well, we'll find the final four. We'll be moving on to the playoffs in 2 weeks. 6 p.m. Eastern Time on next Saturday and Sunday. 3 p.m. Pacific, midnight for you Europeans out there. And we will be determining who moves on to the playoffs. Thank you to the admins for making this such, they say we were specifically, for making this such a smooth running, so just game. I love it. Thank you guys for watching. I hope you enjoyed the cast, and you check out some more on YouTube, and tune in again next week. And, well, for you guys, I'll see you in just a few moments in real time. Good luck, have fun, have an amazing day, and thank you for watching. See you next time.